Make sure your mic's running.
Michael, there's somebody waiting to be admitted.
Oh, thank you. Jody Pop. Thank you. All right. The time is now 6:31. We are in session. Notice is hereby given that the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks, Texas will hold a regular meeting on Thursday, June 11, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. at City Hall, 22870 Priest Road, Sandy Oaks, Texas. A quorum of the City Council will be present and all agenda items may be acted upon. City Council will also hold a town hall during the regular meeting to allow for questions and public comments on a potential tax increase proposed for 2026 tax year to support the 2027 fiscal year budget. Join the meeting. You could join the meeting at the Zoom link provided in the agenda. The public will be permitted to offer public comments in person, telephonically, or by audio as provided by the agenda and as permitted by the presiding officer during the meeting by signing up with the city secretary at least 15 minutes in advance of the meeting, if providing comments in person, and at least 2 hours in advance of the meeting by emailing the city secretary or by calling 210-607-0834 if speaking telephonically or by audio. An audio recording of the meeting will be made and will be available to the public in accordance with the Texas Public Information Act upon written request. Madam Secretary, may I have a quorum call, please?
Alderman Putnam.
Here.
Alderman Tremblay.
Here.
Alderman McNeil.
Not here.
Alderwoman Walker.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Madero.
Here.
Interim City Administrator Dr. Johnson.
Here.
City Attorney here.
Right. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, one indivisible.
Okay, let's see here. All right, the town hall, moving to agenda item 3, town hall moderated by the mayor and the city administrator to allow for questions, public comments on a potential tax increase for 2026 to support the fiscal year 27 budget beginning October 1st, 2026, ending September 30th, 2027. This is not a public hearing on the proposed tax rate or budget. Separate public hearing will be held prior to council's consideration and adoption of the 2026 tax rate and budget for the fiscal year 2027. Time is now 6:33. We are in our town hall. I know we did have somebody online.
No, he's with BP. That's Jody.
Oh, it's Jody. Okay. John, I know you brought up a question about the taxes, the Bexar County taxes last meeting. They did just send out a newer update of that. So I'm waiting until we get a little bit more finalized so we can discuss about that in more depth. But I haven't forgot about it. It's just they keep sending updates as they get closer. Now that they're kind of locked into who's disputing taxes or their tax rate, then we could probably have the discussion going forward. So
Okay.
just haven't
I'd like
forgotten.
to be at the next town hall that they have at the community center.
Yep.
So you can only have one alderman there,
Have to.
two aldermen there.
Yep.
I just want to put my name in there.
That is perfectly fine with me. Dr. Johnson, was the next one the 24th of July?
It'll be June 27th.
June 27th. Okay.
It's on the announcements, item 5.
Okay, sorry. Thanks. All right. Well, if there are no further questions, then we will go ahead and close the town hall at 6:35. All right. Moving on to agenda item 4, citizens to be heard. People wishing to speak with may sign up with the city secretary in the time and manner as indicated above. Madam Secretary, Chief Brick, do we have anybody signed up? No? Okay. All right, then let's move right along. Let's see here, mayor and administrator announcements, updates. Let's see, the first one on the docket is City Hall will be closed on Friday, June 19th in observance of Juneteenth and will open Monday, June 22nd, 2026. Let's see here, June 27th, 2026 at 10:30 a.m. There will be a town hall at the Sandy Oaks Community Center, 4451 Hickory Haven, Sandy Oaks, Texas, 78112, to receive public comments on a proposed 2026 tax increase for the fiscal year 2027 budget. Dr. Johnson, can you be sure to put a publication out on like social media, probably beginning tomorrow, so that way it gets enough runtime so people can see it, just as a reminder for our citizens. Let's see here, July 25th, 2026 at 10:30 a.m. Town Hall at Sandy Oaks Community Center. Sandy Oaks Community Center, 4451 Hickory Haven, Sandy Oaks, Texas, 78112. To receive public comments on a proposed 2026 tax increase for the fiscal year 2027 budget. Before we go to the next one, I just want to talk about one more item that's not on this on the updates and announcements. So if you're aware, which hopefully you are, Southside ISD has been in the park for the last 2 weeks. They're running Monday through Thursdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Handing out food to kids that are school-age children that live in the neighborhood. However, you don't have to live in the neighborhood if you just happen to, be here with your grandma or whoever it may be. If you registered, you can receive a meal. Not only do you receive a lunch for the day, but you receive a breakfast for tomorrow. And on Thursdays, you receive 2 breakfasts. Yeah, 2 breakfasts and 2 lunches. So hopefully get you to the weekend. But they did say they're averaging about 100 people a day, which is pretty awesome, right? We have a really good turnout. Some days are a little less than others. Some days are about 70, but we got a lot of big families that live out here. I think one family brings in 12 or 13 kids. So if you hear about it, especially now during the summer, if you hear that somebody's saying, "Oh man, it's so expensive to feed my kids during the summer," and maybe they're in the South Side District, maybe they're in the East Central District, but they're in this general area, invite them. They can still register. They can still come get a free meal daily, Monday through Thursday. I'd rather us run out of food than have not enough food, or than have them not have a meal, right? So, or we have extras rather. Let's rephrase it like that. So. Nonetheless, the program is being really successful. Make sure that you spread the word. If you hear about it, tell people about it. Okay, Dr. Johnson, you want to take agenda item 5D?
Yes, so requesting that we talk about this in the executive session, this announcement possible, there's just so many unknowns that we've started to investigate this more so. This is a matter that we need to talk about in executive session with the council.
Is your recommendation today?
If possible, yes.
We don't have an executive session on the agenda, nor is this item listed as an item for discussion. It was only listed as an announcement, so we as a council cannot discuss this open forum or executive session, sir.
Very well. My only, yeah, and that's my point too, is even if we did take it to an executive session, which we can do, there's no action that we can take. So I don't see kind of the purpose of taking it to an executive session at this time. I'd rather have an executive session listed with an action item on the next agenda so that we can, unless there's something pressing that you just have to tell us.
That's not.
Okay, then let's not go to executive session for this. Okay. Any questions on the mayor and administrator announcements? All right, then let's move right along. Consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered routine by the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks and will be enacted by one motion. There will not be a separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, the item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separate.
I'd like to pull A, B, and D.
And D. Okay. Do we have a motion to then look at C. To pull or to approve C.
Move to approve item C, consent agenda.
Second. All right, I got a second by Alderman Tremblay and a second by Alderman Crickmer to approve consent agenda item C. The minutes from May 28, 2026. Is there any discussion after the motion and the second? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, that motion carries. All right, that is a good announcement to please silence your cell phones. All right, go ahead to, let's see if we want to talk about agenda item A.
Yes, agenda item A, and looking at this, this is the first time that I've seen an invoice for our city judge. I'm just wondering, why are we paying for him, paying his hourly rate while he's in training? He's billing us 960 hours for 3 days of training.
And transit.
Is this training specifically for our city that he needs to take?
That I don't know. I don't know of the training. I don't know if it was in his contract originally to allow for training. I think so being, I don't have that answer, right, for training.
Yes, we'll have to do that.
Do you have his contract, Tom?
We can't find it.
Does he have it? Did you ask?
Not assume yet, but we can.
We'll keep looking, though, we can find it.
Do you have?
When was
I
the,
don't know if he has a contract. I think it was.
when was this?
Dr.
He's
Johnson.
been here since the last.
No. When was the training?
No,
Oh,
when,
is it?
no, when
It
was,
was at the end of April.
Is that what you're asking, John?
So we have renewed him as the judge the last two times I recall that happening. One time I was on the council, the other time I was not.
And it was just
So,
he's doing a good job for us. Let's keep it going type of thing, I would assume.
correct.
Not so much let's review his contract.
But I don't think we should be paying it unless it's in his contract that we're going to, or this is training specifically
Specific.
for our, because when you hire a contractor, you don't pay for them to maintain their certifications or whatever qualifications they need to do the job. To me, that just seems weird. I just would like to see some better clarification of why we are spending $150 an hour for 960 minutes worth of training. He's not charging us for attending the training. He's charging us for the hours he spent in the seminar.
so I'm guessing that the TMCEC, that this is municipal code, municipal city, so it pertains to him supporting us, I would think. We probably just need to get clarification from him, what exactly the training is for, what it relates to, rather than,
It's Texas Municipal Courts Education Center.
okay, it more like it relates to him supporting us, and this may be some updates that he needed, or some changes in law. So if we can just get clarification from him.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be opposed to the idea divided by the number of municipalities that he has, right? So like if we are 1/4 of his time, then we'll pay for 1/4. I don't disregard that idea. I think he needs to keep his
Oh, I agree.
certifications up, so. But yeah, I think we just need more time before
We need the contract to find out if we're supposed to and to find out what it is that he's doing this training. But I am glad you are getting an invoice from him now, and thank you for sharing it with us, Ella.
Okay, so then let's, for an
We need
action,
additional information.
yeah, we need just more information on this invoice, on his contract. And then we can make a decision on it. So let's bring that to an actual discussion item, for the next meeting.
So do we pay it?
Negative.
Still last.
I know.
You're on Monday.
Yeah, let's get an email to him today, or I mean, not today, tomorrow, asking to see if he has a contract, and then just kind of asking for a clarification on the training. And then why we're responsible for $960 or whatever it is.
960 out in minutes.
No, 960 minutes, excuse me, yeah. Okay. Then let's move to agenda item B.
I know that, Alderwoman Walker has a couple things on this one, but I just want to quickly say for consent on the meeting minutes from May 14th. Was it May 14th?
Yes.
Go ahead. I'm trying to find what I was looking for.
Yeah, under 9S. Oath of office for chief of police is still listed under that item. I don't care. It might have happened in that timeline, but it needs to be separated from 9S. Because 9S has nothing to do with an oath of office.
The oath of office occurred after the meeting adjourned.
Oh, and in, I know what the problem with the 28th was. It's a problem. It happened in two different places. One was the comment, basically the comment is repeated twice in the same statement.
Anything?
Pardon?
Okay.
That's what I'm looking for. I had it marked and it's highlighted.
What are you looking for, Alderwoman Walker?
There were two different sections where an item was repeated twice. I want to say it was 6B, but I'm not seeing it. I wonder if it was locked with my tablet. I think that might have been an issue with my tablet, not with the document. Because I don't see it.
Yeah, the item I had concern with has been updated in this newest version too as well, so I don't have any other issues than the one that you've brought up. So was it, do you all recall the same way the oath of office was done after the meeting adjourned?
Yes, no, so.
Yeah.
It was right before the meeting was adjourned.
That was on the 14th, May 14th. Minutes.
Would you like me to put after 9T at the very bottom? It's, well, down in I, open office, following conclusions of
It wasn't part of the meeting. It should be completely removed.
the
The meeting had adjourned, so it's not even part, it's probably not even recorded because it's probably stopped. So I would move to strike and remove everything beginning from oath of office to compliance with state law under item 9S in the May 14th meeting minutes.
It was in the 14th was the place where it's duplicated also. On 9S, we have the oath of office, but then it appears again below the executive session. Towards the very end, we have oath of office also.
All right, and then I amend my motion to include also striking the oath of office portion under executive session item 10.
What was the first one in the executive session, right?
The first one was to remove the oath of office portion under 9S.
Under 9S, okay.
And then also under the executive session, item 10.
Also under the executive session. Let's see what sentence is that. It looks like the second full sentence. It begins prior to any votes being taken on the items 9B or 9C, the council convened, etc.
Yeah, I don't follow any of
Further-
that. So if it makes sense to you guys, fine, but.
Yeah, but further down, below convened 7:36 PM, that same statement is repeated.
Oh, yeah. And it's also not in the top section after 9A that we went to executive session to indicate in the top that we wrote for executive session, and that just, the whole thing just seems confusing. In that executive session, I made that comment last time.
We want to just send this one back.
Yeah, because the whole discussion about tabling 9B and 9C has nothing to do with the executive session. That should be up in the top, that whole executive section. Yeah, I withdraw my motion, and I say this needs to go back to correct that executive session so that it is properly documented only what occurred in the executive session. We did not talk about tabling anything. That portion should be up above. Oath of office happened after, so yeah, I withdraw my motion. I recommend we send it back. Too many problems with that section.
I concur. Let's go ahead and move that one back to discussion, or send that back to Dr. Johnson and our city secretary. All right, then let's go to consent agenda item D, which is approved milestone 2, design approval.
So I just wanted to talk, this is the second payment. There's now a second document out here too. Okay, so I'm guessing this is a hyperlink that we're supposed to be taking a look at.
Yes.
So again, hyperlink wasn't provided when the original, that was my question. Where's this thing that we're approving the design? Have you seen it yet, Mayor? You're the one that's supposed to be approving
I
this.
didn't like it.
I have not.
Oh, you've looked at it and you didn't like it? Yeah, it wasn't out there when I
Yeah.
downloaded everything on Sunday.
The pictures weren't of Sandy Oaks. They were
Right.
some other.
Right.
I mean, those might just be examples,
Bunch
but
of cap. Yeah,
it was a bunch of devils in there. wasn't
so yeah, that backsplash is my understanding. They had a outlet form here a while back, and Ella was there, but she did remove those cows out of that backsplash picture. Yes, and there's other corrections that she made as well. Snow to all based off of.
But she,
Is it on this link that you're
She's-
giving us now?
she's got some,
No, this is where she's done so far, but she didn't. We can have those completed by tomorrow.
All right, but we're trying to approve a payment for her website design, and what Alderman Crickmer has looked at, he's saying he doesn't
it
approve
doesn't
of that.
represent the city.
The mayor hasn't looked at it yet. Oh, the mayor's looking at it now. And it doesn't represent the city, so is this link going to give us the opportunity to look at that? And
One of them is on the
review it
lake.
before we come back to our next meeting to approve this? Because this invoice isn't due for 30 days, and I didn't have it. But this document wasn't out there.
No, it would not. So I would recommend we bring it back.
Yeah.
That's corrections as.
Are these just boilerplate examples, or is that what we're supposed to live with?
Yeah, that's what she had thus far.
We're
We don't
supposed to
wanna-
be approving this
No.
this design, and
I
we like
don't.
what she's got so far. And if you disapprove of it, then we need to have her go back and fix what your
We need to
concerns are
provide some,
before we make the payment.
I don't know about that, but we need to provide her with, subject matter that she can use, and I don't know if we have.
That wasn't part of the contract for us to provide her.
Okay,
pictures.
well,
Because this still shows the FAQs listed on the police department's page. But the FAQs listed have nothing to do with the police department. They're citizen information.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The chairman, the mailbox,
Right.
tax bill.
so I recommend we take time to review this. because we are approving her design, if we pay her, it means we approve it.
Yeah.
We need to let her know as soon as possible that we have issues with it. That was what was in the contract that we signed with her.
Correct. And yeah, at this point, I don't agree with it.
So, yeah. And Dr. Johnson, can you make sure the mayor has the website link as soon as you get it, or have her send it directly to him, because he is the one that is supposed to be approving this?
Yes, I saw that too.
Yeah, that we put in the contract that he is, and he can send it to us to get us to look at it in a timely manner instead of shortly before the meeting, so we have time to peruse and approve it.
Yes, ma'am, sure will.
All right, so let's move on from that. All right, let's move on to staff and committee reports, animal control updates and announcements and presentation of the monthly report with possible discussion and our action. Officer Cunningham, you do have the floor.
Good evening, Council. So I wanted to take a moment, to explain the monthly, format, the way it's set up. It was brought to my attention that there might be some confusion, and if there is confusion, within our staff, then there might be confusion for the citizens, who are looking at this. So when you look
Do you
at
have the microphone that's on that stand so that
It
it's
is on.
recorded?
Yes, on here.
Yeah, but you.
So that,
yeah.
so that you can go on the recording, and so if
Okay.
the citizens are listening to it, they'll hear your explanation.
Okay, it's on.
Thank you.
So when you're looking at this document, you'll see here on the bottom, it says total number of new animals that are taken into the facility. That's for the entire month. So that's the amount of animals that we brought in from the first of the month to the last day of the month. When you're looking at where it says animals in custody and it has the date, it says 15. So that's how many animals that we have at the time I'm making the document. So that number changes. Like let's say today we have 15, tomorrow we have 3 leaves, then we have 12. So
Is there a reason why you just don't do it what you had at the end of the previous month?
because usually when I'm doing this document, I want to give the citizens the correct amount of animals that we have.
Because even what you have here is going to be different from what you have today, the day you're giving the report.
Yes.
So if you're going to pick a day, I was just wondering why you don't pick the day at the end of the month.
I try to just keep it consistent with whatever day I'm doing the monthly. Because if I do it at the end of the month, it doesn't accurately reflect, like when I come in here, it's going to be different.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna be
but-
different no
but-
matter what day you pick.
Yeah.
So why, since this whole report is about the month of May, why don't you pick the last day of the month of May to report in here? Because that would make more sense rather than just randomly whatever day you sit down to do the report. If you
Yeah.
make,
I mean, I can.
I think that would be a good recommendation, is just to close it out, the May 31st in this case, right? I would just do it like that.
Because like a lot of times the dog.
because unless you're updating it today, no matter what you put on there, it's gonna be wrong. Or it's gonna be
Usually when
different.
I come in here, I do say.
Right, and that's why I mean, it's because you do give us that date, why not just that data based on today?
Yeah.
If you just say May 31st, the last day of the month. It's just more consistent with the rest of your reporting and might alleviate some of the confusion.
And well, that as well, it's just, like. When looking at it, I don't want y'all to be trying to add it up. To equal a certain number, like. It doesn't equal anything, it's just the amount of dogs that we have in the facility. The amount of dogs that are leaving, the amount of dogs that came in. This, for the month of May, we actually ended up euthanizing 5 dogs. And that was quite a lot because we haven't had to euthanize any. But we were out of space and they were out of time, so we made the decision to euthanize the ones that were not.
You euthanized some earlier this year. It's not,
They were like, they had reasons, they were.
okay, so this is the first time you've had to euthanize them just because we had too many?
And then we actually had 4 people come in for, not TNR, microchips and things like that. So that was, people are starting to see that we have that option available.
Are you getting some to register for the community cat program?
We have had 2 people come in for the community cat program. I was trying to get some of these dogs out of here before I announced it on the Nextdoor app. But I have had a couple people come in and utilize the program.
I've been telling people to do it.
Good, good.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wouldn't wait because we're never gonna get it done. We're never gonna have yet 0 dogs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we need to start pushing it.
The only thing is that if we're super, super busy, it's hard to get over there in
Yeah.
time. So we're trying to meet Sandra, or trying to figure out kind of how to make it work, what works and what doesn't.
What about the part-timer? I mean, send him early, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
that's the other option.
yeah, we can do that as well. So it was a short month as far as calls went.
It looks like a
because-
busy month.
Just because of how many, well, as far as how many dogs we picked up, it was busy, but as far as like actual calls that we were able to make it to, it was kind of short. Where we've been in the 40s and then some like 32 this. But that was just because we were trying to move dogs and get them out of here. I just wanted to explain the paperwork and why it says kind of what it says. And I don't think I have anything else.
Is it pretty easy to identify transfers, return to owners, and adopted to where we can have that broken down into 3 sections, not sections, but like categories instead of 23?
Yes.
Because I'd like to know how many were adopted, right? Like,
Usually it's 0. We don't have anybody come in here really. I think we had 2 get adopted, but that's one person came in and adopted 2 dogs.
Yeah.
So, but usually it's 0.
okay.
We rely heavily on transport.
Yeah.
But there is something that might concern the citizens. I just remembered that I do need to talk about it. It's called the New World Screwworm. And I don't know if you've heard about it on the news, but right now it's limited to livestock as far as us transferring dogs out of the state. Right now it's limited to livestock. But the contact that we have that takes our dogs to Canada was concerned about it. So I am to contact the vet, and I'm waiting on him to get in contact with some people to let me know what our protocol is supposed to be as far as watching out for this.
Last I heard, there was a case of a dog.
Yeah, I've heard that it transfers to household pets, and we do have livestock in town.
Yeah, it does. So it does transfer to the pets. It'll transfer to people too. So it's not just livestock, but they're concerned about it being like cattle and feral pigs and goats and things like that. They're worried about.
But we have some of that in town,
We do
so they
have-
can transfer to household pets and even people now.
Yes, they can. The people that it can transfer to, you would have to have an open pet on you. The fly comes, it lays the eggs in the cut, and then the maggots will go. They don't eat dead tissue, they eat live tissue, so they'll go inside of your body and cause problems. And you can't see them from the outside of the wound like you would normal fly larva.
So the fly would have to set on you long enough to lay some eggs.
Yes, but it doesn't take long, so. It is a concern, it is something that I'm trying to monitor and just keep an eye out for. I mean, it can even go into chickens, any kind of mammal, it can lay its eggs in. I know chickens aren't really mammals, but any kind of animal.
Warm-blooded animal.
Warm blood, thank you, warm-blooded. It can lay its eggs in, it'll eat your body. So, right now I'm just.
Is the vet gonna let you know, like, if there's treatments or some sort of
They say-
medication,
they
something
say
he
to
needs to
keep
do to
your-
inspect it?
They say to keep your pet up to date on flea medications, such as Bravecto, Credulo, Fidelio, I'm not sure how to say it.
Flea medication.
It's flea medication. It's oral. The topical stuff isn't gonna work as well. So it's advised that you do give your dog an oral.
What about-
The medication and your cats as well. So it is a potential issue if you have a feral cat colony and they are hiding and fighting and scratching, they can be carriers of it. So it's just something that we've got to watch out for. And
But the vet's gonna let you know if there's something we can do to still allow you to be able to transport
well, right
the
now,
animals out of town.
right now it's not shut down for us. Right now we're okay. But I don't know what they're going to do if it continues to spread, if they're gonna shut it down. Transport.
I would
Okay.
think we'd get some guidance from the state.
Yeah, so then that's my point right here. So Texas Department of Emergency Management is having periodical calls on the screwworm, so I'll attend those and provide the city an update as I get more. I'll provide you an update really as I get those, and I can invite you to them, but they're at random times. So I'll get it to you, and if you can join, great. If not, I'll try to join as well.
Yeah, there was some seminars and I was talking to the chief about going to one, just attending, but by the time I saw it, it was already an hour, so. we
Yeah.
didn't go. But I.
We'll
think
get some
that-
more information.
Yeah, getting more information.
Thank you.
My only, again, kind of the point that I want to make sure that can we spread out that information for transfers, return to owners and adopted?
Yeah.
And then two, I know it's related to your updates, but just are you working on the adjustments to the ordinance for livestock, or have you talked to anybody about that?
Are you?
Have you gathered any information to figure out any recommendations for livestock?
Like,
Right.
if we wanted to allow goats and things like that?
Right, I just need you to become well versed in the topic, so that way when we bring it up for discussion, I don't want to be second guessing, right? Like, I need you to come to us with some recommendations, because we're gonna have it up for discussion hopefully in the next 2 weeks, maybe in a month, because we gave the 60-day variant, so
Yeah.
just don't want you to lose sight of that.
I did go by there today and I checked out their. You're speaking about the guy with the cows.
Yeah.
I did go by today and I did a site visit to see how he's housing his cows and how he's got the grounds, if it's covered in feces
Yeah.
and things like
Don't
that.
want to talk about him specifically, just in general. What would you recommend we add to the ordinance? Because he's not on the agenda this
Right.
time. But the mayor had asked to have ordinance 262 on the agenda. And it didn't make it this time, so hopefully it'll make it next time. And would just love your insight and your opinion on what we should do. Just if you can make sure you research it and well versed on what we should do in general in the ordinance for a requirement for the entire town. That, gentleman, is a separate discussion.
Yes, he's
We'll get
he's been
together.
helping me.
All right. Any more questions for our animal control officer? All right, then let's move right along. Thank you, ma'am, for your time. Code enforcement officer updates and announcements and presentation of their monthly report with possible discussion and interaction. Officer Aguilar, you do have the floor.
Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon. Evening.
Okay, so of course, George Aguilar, code enforcement. So we are still enforcing our code enforcements to the public. Right now, we do have the overview that we're looking at. It's still gonna be, your right of way side, parking in the right of way. OYTs, which is your overgrown yard and maintenance and trash. We had a total inspections, was a total of 57. Out of that was 53 new cases that came aboard. 7 of those just transferred over from the last month over the extensions. Violations given out was 22 overall, 22 violations given out. 6 of those went straight to citations. So they are coming in court already for those. So the re-inspections were a total of 57, all of it. Active cases that
transferred over for, people that called me and told me if they can get an extension. Or going over to June of 9 cases of those. And that, like I said, the majority of all your violations are gonna be right of way parking, skirtings, OYTs, and your, which is your regular, fence. Some of the fence ordinance are, even though people have been here more than 30 years, quite some time, they are coming to compliance, even though, so we are talking to them, giving them the opportunity to turn around and say, if you want to, it's up to you. But everybody's really just turning around and telling me, yep, Mr. Aguilar, we'll go ahead and just take care of it. We don't want, to be not in compliance, or we just don't want anybody else to say, what about him? So they've been kind of, working with me, and some of their fence lines are coming down.
They're good until they sell the place. I mean, they
Correct,
don't have
correct.
to, so I'm
Yeah, and that's
glad
what
to
I've
hear
been-
that you're.
Correct, and
talking
I've
to
been
them.
telling them that they don't have to do anything like that until it transfers deeds. But they're like, you know what, I'd rather just do it now. I don't have to worry about it. And plus, in case if I don't sell it by tomorrow, it takes a year or 2 years. It's out of my hands, I don't have to worry about it. So that's where a lot of the feedback I've been getting back on a lot of my residents, so, which is good. And like I tell, I come on a daily basis, I tell them, it's up to y'all. I'm not forcing y'all to do it. I'm not gonna take y'all to court for it. But it's up to y'all if y'all wanna do it. And majority of everybody is saying, no, I'm good with it. I'll just take it down. I don't have to worry about nothing. We're good. So right now, you do see a lot of the sunflowers out. By the state of Texas, we have to allow for pollination. So a lot of the residents can get a violation, but it's the residents, pretty much it's up to them if they want to cut it now. Of course, like I've been explaining to them, once the season is over and the sunflower starts dying, it's gonna come to where you will get a full violation and a citation behind it if it doesn't get cut.
Can you explain to me you have to let it pollinate?
Yes, correct. By 95% of the state of Texas, we have to allow pollination. Which is your
Of
bees,
anything or just this particular?
your bees, your
Anything.
mockingbird,
Anything
mockingbirds,
flowery.
anything that's flowery that can pollinate, can transfer, rebirth, in other words.
Mhm.
We have to allow that to happen by our state of Texas. And that actually is a penal code by the state of Texas. We have to allow that. Now, again, we can, recommend. We cannot enforce, but we can just recommend. It's up to you if you can cut it, if you want it. So if I know more sure if you drive around, you have seen people cutting around these sunflowers.
Mhm.
They cut around them, leave the sunflowers up.
But they don't get in trouble if they do cut it. We just get in trouble if we force them to cut it.
Correct, yes.
That's
If I force them to do it, I will be in trouble for that. Now, it's up to it's in a volunteer basis. Up to you if you want to cut it, doesn't mean you have to. Now, when the season's over, which we're looking at the end of June, July, then it will be mandatory for you to cut because the sunflower's no longer blooming. It is now considered a dead weed, and now you have to cut it. So that's why I'm just letting y'all know, because that's what I've been also telling my residents. It's a voluntary basis. It's not a mandatory basis, but once the weed is done, it has to be cut, it has to be mowed. So,
Okay.
yeah, so on that, again, in conclusion is that we're just doing our safety and wellness checks, with proactive complaints. We go out there, anybody has I would say 301, but it's not a 301 here, but anybody that calls me directly, I go out there and do maintenance checks on homes. I have been letting people know that they have been getting a lot of calls recently for the trees being down. The thing about that is that code enforcement cannot enforce anything about trees. That has to be coming from an arborist. So I've been telling them to get with Bexar County arborist, the actual arborist for the state of Bexar County. So that way they can go out there and give them more or less of a guidance where to go to. How to cut it.
There trees that are dying or what?
Correct. So this will be either both trees that are dying and trees that have fallen already. So trees that have fallen, of course, cut it, just bring it to the side. We do have brush at the end of tomorrow's the last day of brush. bulky is ain't coming in until, 2 more months from now. But we have brushed this week.
Are you talking to the folks that have been putting the bulk pickup out?
Correct. And they've been
Thinking it
getting,
was-
they've been getting violations and if you can move right there in front of me, no violation.
Seen a lot of that.
Correct.
Yeah, they
So-
just, citizens just get it confused. They
Mhm.
realize that
And
it's
I
only
have
one or
seen
the
a lot
other.
of
Yeah.
Feedback on that, like, oh, I thought it was bulky. I'm so sorry. I've been carrying around with me, copies of the actual collections, so that way I can pass out, kind of let them know, and at the same token, it does have the Waste Connections number on it. And I always tell them, just give them a call. If you're not sure, it's always good to just call somebody and find out.
Yeah, and you're talking about the trees that are dying or dead, and I lost a lot of trees.
Correct.
And what I found, and I talked to state agriculture folks, they put me on to Texas A&M
Correct.
extension. It's not so much it is partly to blame on the drought, but it's also a hickory boring beetle
Correct.
that gets
Yes.
into these trees, and a lot of
And
people
it's a,
don't know
it's a
about it.
drilling type
Yeah.
beetle that can
And
go in there
nothing you
and
can do
kill
about it.
everything
The
inside the
hickory
leaf.
is no preventative.
out here.
Yes.
Yeah, I just wonder if you were aware.
Yes.
Tell let
Yeah, let them know
that.
that at the same token, like I said, I refer them to the actual arborist that has more education behind that.
Yeah.
Don't want to give them false information, so I just let them know, here's the number to call the arborist, call him up. He will explain to you a lot more than what I can, but I am letting you know that we're cannot give out a violation on a tree that's fallen down, because we have no jurisdiction in that.
George, what do you, when you say that, you mean, what do you mean exactly? Because if, David has a bunch of fallen trees in his yard and, grass is growing around them, I mean, what can we do to clean up our properties, right? And I just say.
Oh, yeah, correct. Now, if it's already falling down, yes, we can, actual issue out a violation on what they call, accumulation of trash. So we can, now, if you have a stack of logs,
Yeah,
they
that's
gotta be
different.
off the ground. But they're off the ground, at least a foot off the ground on a actual support.
Yeah,
What to call it,
a rack.
weight being, whatever. That's good. That's allowed.
Yeah.
But, yes, if they're falling over the fence line or falling on a tree line that's falling on a fence line, will be a civil,
You gotta clean it up.
Yeah.
that will be civil, it wouldn't be cool. So, and I've been letting our residents know, because there are some that are falling over to fence lines, and that's more of a civil matter.
Yeah, and personal opinion, right? Like I had a tree from my neighbor fall into my yard.
Mhm.
And I called him and I just said, hey, this tree's gonna fall into your shed.
Correct.
And he came over and he moved his tree. I was like, hey, I'll move the tree. I don't have a problem. I have a brush pile. I gotta burn it anyways, right?
Mhm.
But no, I mean, just talk to your neighbor. Like,
Correct.
let's put that on the record. Talk to your neighbor.
Yeah.
And
And that's,
they'll help you, right? You
yeah,
just
that's
gotta
what I've
you
been
gotta
telling
talk to
everybody. It's more of just common communication.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Don't get upset. Don't get mad. Oh, I'm gonna lose it. Don't do that. Just talk to your neighbor, and I'm more likely they're gonna work something out.
Yeah.
Either you cut it, he cuts it, go have some half, especially if it's a mesquite tree. Guess what? At the end of the week, have a barbecue.
Yeah.
You're good. But and that's where that falls on.
I have a road crew, I have 3 kids that come in.
There you go.
I do the cutting, they do the moving. So I don't have a problem with dead trees, but you just gotta talk to your neighbor though, man. It's
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much.
I
Okay.
have a couple of questions. That concern about that fence, was that valid? If the neighbor that I sent you about the fence being out of, with no permit, et cetera, over there, I've lost,
The email that was sent earlier this week.
did you check that out?
I don't think I got that.
Yeah, you did. You were
Yeah.
copied on it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I'm so sorry. I haven't read it then.
Yeah, also, I know of several abandoned houses,
Correct.
properties that are just overgrown with weeds. I don't know what the, what that would be as far as ordinance violation, but
Mhm.
would you like a list of the properties? You could probably
You-
look it up with Bearcat and see.
Correct. You can probably send me,
These
and
are
I'm
mostly
more likely I've
people
been
who
already
died,
for
you
majority of
know,
them.
people
of
who
these
died and
ones.
their house has
Yeah.
gone feral.
This has got flowers. You can't do anything with flowers.
Yeah, no, but I mean, yeah, okay, I'm gonna
There
give
there
you
is a
some
lot, there
addresses.
is a lot of residents that we do have here that they live in San Antonio.
Yeah,
So I've been mailing out a lot of, a lot of violations out.
Several on Priest Road that are
Yeah.
Are
abandoned.
they rental properties in town or are they
They're
just
just,
vacant
they're just
lots?
vacant homes. More sure it's more like a vacation
Abandoned
home or
trailers.
something.
I know we have a big problem with rental properties not being registered as required.
Mhm. Yeah. So, but on that, yes, if you have a list, by all means,
I'll
email
send
it to
it to
me
you.
and I can go to them. I know I've been to a lot of
Mhm.
empty lots, and not rental homes, but I've been to homes that are been
Secondary.
by themselves. And so, yeah, it just takes a little time because I literally have to go hunt the owner down.
I'm pretty sure the trucker people on Priest Road have abandoned that property and left it kind of in a state of disrepair.
Can we not talk about that right
I
now?
guess we can not talk about
Not
I
on the
think it-
agenda.
it.
I mean, that's pretty much it. If y'all don't have any more questions for me.
Appreciate it.
You good? All right. Thank you, sir. All right, community center updates and announcements and presentation with possible discussion and or action. Let's see. Mr. Crickmer, do you want to take this or Dr.
Yes.
Johnson? How's this going?
So that's just an update. It's mainly the schedule that they have, the community in their schedule, which is important to be on the record.
Oh, gotcha.
Same thing, I eventually plan on adding public works and municipal park documents as well, just so the council as well as the residents is up to speed.
Okay. All right. So then let's move, any questions for Dr. Johnson then?
What about the community center minutes?
It's coming up.
No, that was,
Oh,
yours is the park committee. You
Oh,
got
I'm
the
sorry.
community center calendar on
I'm
the
sorry.
agenda too.
my bad.
Yeah, that's all right.
You're after the community center calendar.
All right. So any questions for Dr. Johnson on the community center?
No, thanks for including that. That's a great idea.
All right.
And
so-
this is posted on the city website as well.
Yes, ma'am, it is. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's posted on the community center Facebook page, but I can get it posted on the schedule. I get the schedule posted on. the
Yeah, it's on Nextdoor. It's on Facebook. It's on the community center, not associated with Sandy Oaks officially Facebook page. So it's out there. All right. So then let's move along to Park Advisory Committee, updates, announcements with possible discussion and or action. Alderman Kirkner, you have the floor.
Okay, 7D.
Yes, sir.
The park committee met, when did they meet? 5
June 2nd.
PM, June 2nd. The meeting lasted for 40 minutes roughly. There were 6 attendees and then another neighbor who's not on the committee, David Jones, joined the conversation. He arrived at 5:06 PM. We're still working on the Tom Rapino Park sign. I spoke to the guy today. He's on an out of town job at the moment, so that's gonna be on hold. There's a July 4th celebration at the community center, 250-year birthday. There's gonna be a water slide. Gloria Sarmiento is gonna be in charge of getting the word out. We're looking for vendors. We're gonna vend crafts, food, et cetera, at the
Is there a
July
permit
4th.
requirement for vendors?
Pardon?
Is there a permit requirement for the food vendors at?
I don't know.
Not after
I
July
don't-
first.
I don't
Okay,
think
never
so.
She said not after July first. Her attorney says it's going away. So July 4th is after the first.
Okay, I think a temporary vendor,
No,
Issue.
it's not a
Yeah, we don't-
real
okay.
you don't have
point
to.
on the 4th of July.
okay.
Yeah.
That's about all I got. Any questions? It's all right here on the agenda.
Are you gonna serve food like from the city? And do you?
Hot dogs, yes, I'm sorry, hot dogs and refreshments,
You
will
have,
be-
you have volunteers for that?
yes,
Okay.
the ladies that are.
Are you volunteer?
Oh, well, that's why I was asking,
The
right? If you
community
didn't have
center
somebody.
ladies will provide that.
They
If you'd
provide
like
the
to
food.
participate, I'm
But they're
sure
always
they'd
looking for someone
appreciate
to man the
you.
grill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think was it David last time doing 4th of July? Wasn't he cooking hot dogs, right? I
it's usually, it's been,
think it was last year when I bought the sign from him, right? Wasn't that 4th of
It was
July?
David Jones.
I thought David was.
Yeah, David Jones was out there.
Right?
Last time.
I'm certainly up to it, right? And
Charles usually does it as well.
All right. Well, let me know if you need help and I'll be glad to put a few on my pit. Any other questions? Did he give you an idea of when Miguel was gonna come back?
No. Are we in a hurry? I mean, we put him off for months.
Not in a hurry. He's got our money though.
I know.
No, but I mean, yeah, just get an idea.
Who's taking the lead on planning the Veterans Day event?
And Garza, I believe, that's a ways off.
I think the flags have already gone up, right?
Flags are
Yes.
looking good, yes.
Right. I was over there today and I saw them and I was like, those look new. This looks good.
Yeah, Public Works has been doing a lot of work out there.
Brazil's been doing a great job.
Ever since Jacob left, they're going fast now. I wonder why. No, just kidding.
No.
I did have a question though, about the signs pointing the way to the park as you're
Uh-huh.
driving. I didn't see any on Waterwood.
I haven't seen any myself and I
So,
don't know.
because-
They're up, yeah.
I don't think
Okay.
they're all up, are they?
They're up.
Okay. That's
I
fine.
haven't
We'll,
seen
we'll
any.
talk to Public Works when they're available. I just, because someone might come at the exit and just turn down where the sign says Sandy Oaks looking for the park and not necessarily drive around Priest Road. I just want to make sure that she's
Be-
considering Waterwood as well.
Priscilla's.
That's fine.
Public
Thank you.
Works deal.
Wow. Number 10, no Father's Day activities planned.
It was a little late and they didn't do Mother's Day,
No,
so.
they didn't do Mother's Day this time?
No.
Okay. I don't feel so bad now. All right. If there's no other questions, then let's go ahead and move along. Thank you, Alderman Griffin. All right, Police Department, updates, announcements, and presentation of the monthly report with possible discussion and or action. Chief Alvarez, I had to make sure I said it right. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. These are our stats for May. We are looking like, we're taking about half the calls up. 194 was the total amount of calls. 128 were answered by Bear County. 66 were answered by Sandy Oaks. We are still shorthanded. We have recently got Fred off of the TLETs. We had a 20-day wait after his return. And now we have gotten a green light. Now it's getting him on E-Force, getting him on E-Force to be able to run some of the stuff that he needs to be able to run electronically through the RMS program. I'm proud to say that we are now 100% compliance with NIBRS. We got a call this week. Our CGIS is still pending our IT issue, but I don't think that's on the agenda, so can't really speak too much about that. Our stats, though, I did want to kind of clarify some things on the case submitted to the DA's office and cases closed. As you can see on the section that's black on the lower right hand corner, the case is closed. Seems a little low. I'm going to try to explain it as best as I can. The case submitted to the DA's office, once it gets to the DA's office, there's a process when it gets to the DA's office. And it takes, sometimes it can take a year, 2 years, sometimes even up to 5 to 7 years or even longer to dispose of a case. To me, the case is closed is once you get the disposition from the district attorney's office and they've already issued a destruction order and you destroy the evidence that you have, if there's not a retention period or there's enough allotted time and it's not a case that's going to be appealed. So it's going to be, those numbers we're going to start looking a little lower, but I wanted to explain that. The case is being submitted to the DA's office. Should be increasing with the assistance now that I do have a little help from CC, which is another issue. I don't think I can touch base on this particular time. Our city ordinance and our traffic stops, even though that our officers are doing some traffic stops, they're still doing city ordinances as well as we come and go. Our arrest, it seems a little low, but I think that I may have gotten the arrest confused. The other arrests were this month, not in May, so that might have been my bad. Where I was thinking it should have been home. We're still consistent with the child crimes. They're still happening monthly. It hasn't been I don't think I've seen it where it's at 0. We have another two, one by Bear County, one by ourselves that responded. That's still the main concern. We're still looking for assistance in the investigation as far as a lieutenant or somebody that can come into our department that has the experience that can run or no training. It's going to be hard, but we are consistently trying, looking at different places from TML, word of mouth. We've had some interest. Some of the people that have interest just don't have the experience that I think that we would require to conduct the job with little to no effort. On our part, as far as that training, just picking up the money. It's becoming an issue. So it's a bit- I'm not a child friendly.
Question for you. Now, on the cases, do you keep a tally of the cases that you have submitted to the DA that are not closed? Do you have an idea, like, do we have 20 cases that are pending litigation or? What?
I believe CC has been keeping a spreadsheet. I would have to double check on that. What I've been doing is keeping a spreadsheet on everything, just kind of going in and just writing like little notes on the side. I could say that we have most of the cases that have been submitted have been mostly special crime cases. They're pretty large cases, and then of course the smaller felonies and misdemeanors are also being submitted as well. But I believe CC may have a spreadsheet. I would have to double check.
My opinion is, I know you're trying to explain why cases closes down. And I think you did a good job of explaining why it is. I hope you don't feel any pressure to close cases, right? Like, it's not about closing them, right? It's about quality. And, the fact that you're submitting, quite a bit, right? Like that's more of the issue, right? We understand. I think we all agree that, closing cases is difficult and it takes time. So I don't want you to feel pressured. Oh, I got to close a case, right? If the number's zero, the number's zero, because you have active cases that you're working on, right? And it takes time.
But when he says a case is closed, it's because the DA has closed the case, not so much we've closed the case.
Right.
The DA has closed the case, correct?
Correct. So
Yeah, so that number really doesn't reflect
Correct.
on the.
That's what I'm saying. Don't feel any pressure for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he can't influence that number either
But
way.
he's explaining why it's only one, so I want to make sure he doesn't.
That's why I asked for
when
a cumulative.
grand jury decided that.
Yes, do you want that number added to this report?
It would probably be good to see the accumulated numbers,
How many cases are
On-
sitting with
on
the
both-
DA waiting?
the submitted and ones closed. The warrants executed, I mean, that's really not, you went out and you picked somebody up because you had a warrant for them. Now you've got a case, correct?
These are actual.
No, but if you get a warrant, if you execute a warrant here, then it's actually, it becomes a case. So that the warrants executed really isn't, for as far as accumulation is concerned, it's not really anything we'd be interested in. I'd be interested in knowing what the accumulated number is for cases we've submitted and cases that were closed. So if we submitted 40 cases this fiscal year and they've only closed 6, it just gives us an idea that, hey, the DA is running kind of slow, but our guys are doing, what they need to be doing.
In response to the DA's office too, they are just as short-handed as we are, and they're behind, they're working. I mean, there are certain teams that are just assigned to certain caseloads. Like you have your special crimes, you have your auto theft, you have your family violence, you have your aggravated violence, you have different. So those teams are spread out, and they're inside their unit. They're even short-handed as far as prosecutors, and because they can only pay out so much. And being a prosecutor may sound good, but I don't think it. I mean, it pays great, better than all we're all making here. But I think for the amount of work that they do, I think it's kind of slow for them as well. I think law enforcement in general. I think
Is there a difference between misdemeanors and felonies? Do the misdemeanors get reported?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I'm assuming that our total number of calls going down, that ratio becoming what it is related to us being understaffed. You mentioned you're still looking for the lieutenant. Are you also still searching for additional patrol officers as
Yes,
well? Okay.
Hey, Rick, sorry, Chief. So in response to council's decision to enter into the 287G agreement with Immigration Customs and Enforcement, we were supposed to receive reporting regarding any traffic stops related to that. Have we done any traffic stops related to that?
I think
Agreement?
they have to finish the trailing, to the training.
Oh, we haven't done, okay, that should probably be. the
Yeah, so
explanation.
are you guys working on that training?
We're currently working the training.
Okay.
To make sure that we're all on. We're requesting.
Yeah, training comes first. Nothing
I
40
didn't know where,
hours.
I actually didn't know where we was at on the status on that, so makes sense.
Yeah, can you keep us updated? Let us know when everyone's done with their training,
Yes.
so we know when we reach each of the landmarks
Milestones.
and the milestones, better name.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions for Chief Alvarez? All right, then it doesn't look like Public Works is in attendance today, so we will skip that. All right, then move on to agenda item 8, unfinished business. There is none.
Well, point of order on that, though,
Yes.
just to mention, some of the items listed under the new business, I think should be unfinished business. So not that it will stop us from talking about it. I just would ask that you be more aware and make sure it's clearly identified as old business, as unfinished business instead of lumping it all. Because several items from last month, we told you to, or from last meeting, we told you to bring back, and it's under new agenda. When we told you to bring it back, that would make it a,
Didn't we do that before? We used to.
so.
yeah.
But that's all, sir. Just wanted to make sure we're being very clear in what it's a continuation.
Understood. All right, so Dr. Johnson, like in his example, the Bureau Veritas should have been under unfinished business, right? So like that, those items.
It would be number 8.
The master fee schedule, the Veritas.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so then let's move on to agenda item 9A. Discuss and or possible action on resolution 2026-255, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks, Texas, designating the mayor as the officer to calculate the no new revenue tax rate and voter approval tax rate pursuant to section 26.04C of the Texas Property Tax Code.
Well, with that, I would say I move to adopt resolution 2026-255, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks, Texas, designating an officer or employee to calculate the no new revenue tax rate and voter approved tax rate.
A second.
Do I get a choice?
No.
It's open for discussion.
It is open for discussion. Because we do have a motion, but I don't have a problem with it. So is there any discussion for this? And
So
did you have something else, Mayor Pro Tem?
I think my note is to edit the title of this one. Read it.
Well, it does
Nope,
say,
it was in the other one.
but it does say an officer or an employee. It doesn't list the mayor.
You're considered a officer of the.
And the mayor's listed in section 1.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I see it now. Okay.
Oh, it was. I do have a motion on this.
Okay, no discussion.
The title, we need to insert the word the between of and city council.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so I moved to edit the title of the ordinance to insert the word the between of and city council.
So is that amending your original motion to adopt?
So, well, you have to open it up and get it for discussion.
I
So
got you.
That's it.
Okay, got you.
So now I'm moving to amend it.
All right, so I do have a motion to amend the ordinance 2026-255 to insert a the in between of and city council in the title of the document. All right, I have a motion by the Mayor Pro Tem and a second by Alderwoman Walker. All those in favor say aye.
I
All right, that motion carries.
move to adopt the ordinance as amended. I mean, the resolution number 2026-255 as amended.
Second.
Okay, I got a motion by our Mayor Pro Tem and a second by Alderman Crickwer to adopt resolution number 2026-255 as amended. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks, Texas, designating an officer or employee to calculate the no new revenue tax rate and the voter approval tax rate. All those in favor, was there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, that motion carries. Any further business on that one? All right. All right, moving along, discuss or take possible action on the assignment of additional investigative duties to Sergeant CC Palomares and associated compensation adjustment. Dr. Johnson, you do have the floor, and Chief Alvarez.
So Chief and I, we recommend that Sergeant Palomares, he's already doing a lot of detective type of assisting with the.
Can we discuss this in open forum? City attorney?
You can do it in executive, that's an option, but you can do it open.
Talk about her pay openly?
Oh, you can take it into executive session. It doesn't need to be listed as an executive session item specifically because the executive session item itself gives council authority to go into closed meeting at any time. So if the council prefers to go into executive session under the person exception, they can.
I think it's better to talk about an employee's pay in private and not in an open session.
We're still gonna state it, right?
The vote, yes.
The vote will
Whatever
stay
the-
when we come
the final
out, but
vote.
when we discuss it,
It's up to me. That's up to y'all, not me.
Yes. I concur.
Need a motion?
Did we?
Move to take item 9B to executive session.
Second.
Under section 551.074 of the personnel matters.
All right, I got a motion by Alderman Tremblay and a second by Alderman Krickner to discuss agenda item 9B in executive session, which is considered 551.071. Oh, 551.074 personnel matters. I do have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
aye.
All right. That motion carries. Then do we want to go right now? All right, time is now 7:42. We are in executive session.
And can the chief join us?
Yes,
Mike's.
leave your mics here. But your Michael has to go.
Oh, right, yes, yes.
So we can take any item from the agenda in executive session because he's got that listed up.
All right, the time is now 8:01. We are back in session. And we will continue to address 9B, discuss it or take possible action on the assignment of additional investigative duties to Sergeant CC Palomares and associated compensation adjustment.
I was moved that we authorize the chief to offer Sergeant Palomares a salaried position of $68,000 annually to continue doing the investigative duties that she's performing now and any additional investigative duties that may come along with it.
All right, I got a motion by Alderman Tremblay and a second by Alderwoman Walker to authorize the chief to offer a salaried detective position at a $68,000 salary to include any additional investigative duties.
I would also say that upon her acceptance, they would be effective the first full pay period beginning soon thereafter.
All right, effective the first pay period after acceptance. Motion by Alderman Tremblay and a second by Alderman Walker. Is there any discussion on that? All right, there's no discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, that motion carries. All right, moving along, agenda item C, discuss and or take possible action on the Federal Emergency Management Agency Region 6 Bexar County Physical Map Revision, 30-day data submission notification regarding proposed revisions to the city's flood insurance rate map that may affect flood zones, boundaries, and mandatory flood insurance requirements for Sandy Oaks property owners, and direction to interim city manager administrator regarding the submission. Was this?
Tried to make heads and tails out of this. Do you know, or have you looked at it? Do you see any properties that are not in a flood zone currently and that are gonna become flood zone?
Correct. So it's kind of a weird because you can't see it. You can't see Sandy Oaks outlined here. But you can make note of the road of what I think this is Priest Road here. So there is a tip of flood zoning right at the basically at the outskirts of the city. I don't foresee it affecting us based off of this map here, right? I think it affects the city of San Antonio. It affects that development that's coming down at Lamb Road, but it doesn't affect any Sandy Oaks property owners. So I don't think there's any discussion. I think we can send them back. We're okay with this, but that's my opinion. Dr. Jansen, did you have anything to add to that?
No, so I agree with you. So if you look at the map here, this is Priest Road here, and here's a flood plain area here. So we have north and we have east there. Possibly with this, I mean, it's a distance from us, so there's no need to get additional flood insurance from the properties here.
That's the thing that I'm concerned about is that basically the property that I'm on was abandoned by the developer initially. And then they opened up because it was actually supposed to be a road going through there. There's, if you dig in there, you can find the gravel and stuff if you go digging.
Yeah.
But they didn't develop those properties back then by Silver Chalice.
Yeah.
So that would be my concern. That if now they come and look at stuff and they say, okay, now you're in a flood zone and now your insurance company is not going to insure you. You're in a flood zone.
Yeah.
That would be my only concern. If they identified any properties within the city limits, not just mine, but anybody within the city as now being in a flood zone, we need to really,
But I don't see anything.
Yeah.
From our town in any of the area that's designated.
Yeah, I couldn't open any of that stuff. I couldn't find it. I couldn't read their.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you dig into it, but I couldn't see anything. Is that what you're interpreting too?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then I would move that the mayor respond to the memo sent to him indicating no comment.
Did you want to see the map on screen?
That's fine. I mean, if you say you've looked at it and you don't see anything within the city.
Yeah, I didn't see
on the, so on Sandy as it is here.
Yeah.
We would be, but.
All right, so I do have a motion.
And also, in your response, notify them that we have a new city secretary and have them update future correspondence to. Done.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right, so I got a motion by our mayor pro tem to authorize the mayor to respond with a no action to FEMA and to update the city secretary information. Do I have a second?
Second.
And a second by Alderman Brickmer. There's no further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, that motion carries. I will send them the email tonight. All right, moving on to agenda item D. I did see Mr. Pope did leave, discuss and take possible action to authorize the city administrator to enter into a contract with Bureau Veritas North America for professional building permits, plan review, and inspection services. Dr. Johnson, you do have the floor.
Yes, sir. So this was approved last council meeting by Mr. Tremblay, second by Alderwoman Walker. And I'm just bringing this up to your attention for you to review the contract, but it was approved. Now we have Mayor Pro Tem who had requested that before we move forward with executing the contract, that the parties be brought forward.
Yeah, so I would move that we table this until after we review that item.
Okay.
Just table it, which just means we bring it back up later on is what it means for tabling it. I don't want to postpone it. I want to just table it and address it after we talk about that document I requested, which I believe is item F9F.
Okay, so we will table until after discussion of 9F. All right, moving on. Discuss and take possible action on ordinance number 2026-275, an ordinance amending the master fee schedule for assessing fees and providing for annual review, authorizing the city administrator to maintain the master fee schedule and make adjustments as necessary in the interim, repealing any conflicting ordinances, providing for severability and providing an effective date, Dr. Johnson, you have the floor.
I would move that we table that one because the very next item is to amend ordinance 275. So why don't we just make the changes to 275 instead of amend it? So I move that we table this one until after discussion of 9F as well.
Right, so let's move that. Table that one. All right, discuss or take
We
possible.
need to vote on the table. It just
That's what I
automatically
was
happens.
wondering.
Maybe just table it.
Okay.
Or just.
No.
Yeah, the mayor, I think, agrees, just decides whether he agrees with it or not.
Discuss and or take possible action on ordinance number 2026-276 and ordinance amending ordinance number 2026-275 be appendix to the Code of Ordinances related to building development and zoning fees for Bureau Veritas North America, repealing all conflicting ordinances, providing a severability clause and providing an effective date. Dr. Johnson.
So what we did for this, we added the fees, it can be separated, but we have the master fee schedule. We also included the Bureau Veritas fees as well. In the event that one was approved and the other wasn't. So for example, if we approve the master fee schedule, make that effective as soon as tomorrow. If we do not agree with the Bureau Veritas rate, so we're looking at a 18% increase for the city. So for example, the city, if we charge $100 for a permit, we would get we'll get $18 with that. That's the reason why you see one that's combined, you see two separate ones. With that.
You also posted a new one 10 hours ago.
Yes, ma'am, it was, yeah, it's the same information. It's the.
No, this is not the same information. This is much better written than the one that was originally posted on Monday. This is properly formatted and clearly done by your attorney.
So if Paredes charges $100, do we add on the 18%?
Yes, sir, we do. It's giving the council options to approve one ordinance or not. If you decide not to approve both of them, one or the other, we still have options.
So where in this ordinance does it say shall apply to all services provided to residential? How does a resident, when reading this, know when they need to pay these fees? How is that supposed to be understood?
So any residents that's applying for any type of permit, it would be online, they would go online and.
No, that's not my question. How does this document legally make it a requirement for a citizen to go pay that permit fee?
I guess it would be with the attachment, whatever permit they're applying for.
But what tells them they have to apply for the permit? I don't see where citizens that are doing A, B, or C need to apply for the permits as designated.
The ordinance, it's the ordinance that requires a permit, not the master fee one or this fee schedule would
Which
tell the
ordinance?
citizen, whatever ordinance would.
So we need
whatever
another
is
ordinance?
referenced. Well, whatever ordinance is referenced that the fee is based on would be the. would
So we
give
still need
citizens-
another ordinance.
Well, I don't know what the fees are based on. So if it's like a building code fee, it could be the building code ordinance.
Yeah, I don't think we should do this until we have an ordinance that says, as a citizen, if you're gonna do this or this or this, you need to go pay these permit fees. Like we
You have
have,
the mobile home permit.
like our mobile home ordinance says, if you're
Right.
going to bring a mobile home in, you need to go do the permit and pay the fee.
Right.
We have no ordinance that says, if
New
you're gonna build a
construction.
home, if you're gonna build an extension on your home, do you need to do this? If you're gonna-
They can write all that stuff up, but it's not cheap.
No,
Yeah.
they don't need, no, we have a city attorney that can write it up in our format to say, based on what other folks are doing in their town to require buildings. We have an ordinance that says we adopted this electrical code, but we don't have anything that says if you're gonna do electrical work, you have to go get it inspected. If you're gonna do this, you have to go get it inspected. I think we need that before we start paying, before we, we can add the fees to our fee schedule, but how do I, as a citizen, know?
Yep.
I'm gonna go build a shed in my backyard. Do I need to go do any of these fees?
They're still not gonna know, right? Because they're not gonna read the ordinances, but I see your point.
But we can't
100%.
enforce anything.
Correct. So like we need to have a building, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, fuel, gas, and similar ordinance that requires them to pay a permit should they need to get electrical, plumbing, and so on and so forth. Right? Just the way we've had a mobile home permit ordinance implemented, they need to have an ordinance that says, if you are gonna move in a home, or if you're gonna build a home and you're gonna get electrical, you will have to pay a permit. Right, that's the point that Mayor Pro Tem's trying.
Right, and I think we just need to take these tables and put them in our master fee schedule and then have the city attorney go draft an ordinance that clearly tells the citizen that this is when you need to go do it, based on what is kind of standard out there. That way we have the fees in place when we get our master fee schedule in place, and in the meantime, have an ordinance for the next meeting that says, this is when a citizen needs to. If they don't read it,
You know, the ordinance code enforcement officer could have given us some insight on this. Because he has some
That's his
experience building
expertise.
inspections. We should,
so
how did he do it when he was in San Antonio? Because he was, he was code compliance. He did building inspections in the city of San Antonio. So how does a citizen in San Antonio, how would you know that you need a permit to put an addition on your home?
Well,
You write an
Mayor Pro Tem,
ordinance.
did you read section 2? I feel like this kind of,
I read section 2, but that didn't
think so?
make it clear. That's why I was asking the city attorney.
Yeah.
And it just says,
I mean, it does say is hereby adopted as the fees
As-
for all building development and zoning of commercial and residential properties and structures within the city. I
I think it's the regulations for those buildings and constructions is what you're referencing as far as what.
I mean, if that is sufficient to tell, so for all buildings, so if someone's gonna build a shed in their backyard,
Yeah.
I mean, don't we need to specify, like, you don't need a building permit if it's a 8x8 shed or,
It's not gonna be inhabited, you're not gonna.
so that's what I mean. All buildings is kind of vague. Yeah, if it's a tool shed, I think we need to be more clear.
why not?
All buildings, if you're gonna build a doghouse, that's a house.
No, we need to.
Well, commercial and multifamily construction plan view, right? Commercial and multifamily.
It says
construction.
and zoning,
Construction or improvement of a residential dwelling, right? I think the titles are pretty, it doesn't say nothing about a garage.
You should include electrical, plumbing, septic, structural.
because we also want them to come get an inspection if they're gonna rewire their house. So I think we need more than what this says. So I think we need to take the fee tables and put them in to our master fee schedule and develop an ordinance that clearly outlines when we expect our residents to come get a permit, get an inspection for their electrical work, for their plumbing work. I mean, what can they just do? When do they need to get it approved? I think this is too vague.
Well, the city inspector would check out a slab, would check out the plumbing, would check out the electrical when you're building.
And
a
that's,
new
and that's
house.
what they're gonna be, right? That's what Bureau
That's what
Veritas
these
is gonna
guys will
That's what
do.
I'm saying,
So you're saying we need an ordinance defining when a permit is needed.
right?
When they need to, and the permit, when the inspection is needed, there's a lot of fees. And to just say, you have to do this for all buildings, I think is
Vague.
not concise enough to be legally enforceable.
It does say at the end, miscellaneous residential projects such as, but not limited to accessory structures, fences and pools, see fee table 2, which we don't have.
We do have a requirement for pools in our pool ordinance. So that's already in there. It also says multi-function, family construction, which is not authorized.
We don't-
They're not authorized in our town. We should have no multifamily homes or
Yeah,
structures.
We have a couple.
So,
of-
but
We have a couple of existing manufactured homes on one lot that we've had forever.
so, but that's different.
Mhm.
So, but, again, that's just my recommendation, is that we look at the fees table and see about adding them to the master fee schedule. When we go back and talk about the master fee schedule, that way we've got them adopted and asked our city attorney to draft something that is comprehensive and detailed on what we expect our residents to do when they're doing electric plumbing. I'm gonna add a bathroom in my home. Do I need to have a plumbing inspection, electrical inspection? I'm gonna convert my garage into a workshop. Do I need an electrical inspection for that? I'm gonna build a 4x4 shed in my backyard. I'm gonna build a stall for the goats that I'm allowed to have now.
Okay, so. What's your
So-
motion?
We don't need a motion to do
You
that.
do it, you're gonna ask the attorney to draft an ordinance.
I also think that may be more appropriate for code enforcement officer Aguilar, because I wouldn't specifically know like electrical codes And
That's what I'm
plumbing.
saying, we need George's.
Okay, so.
But you don't know
so-
mobile homes either,
So
right?
then I would ask that you
So-
get with George
So the,
and see what we can do to come up with an ordinance that is detailed. And make sure that he works with the city attorney to make sure the ordinance looks more like our other ordinance instead of whatever that thing was that Veritas gave us. But allow him to research and leverage the attorney's legal expertise to make sure we draft something, what is used in other cities. To
Exactly.
how should we be enforcing this? Who needs to do it? When do they need to do it? Because this is too vague. And then, but we can still add these fees into the tables and the fees into our master fee schedule. They're just not going to be explained until we get it, get the ordinance done, but it's out there.
Well,
Because the last building inspections that I was aware of were always based on substandard buildings, maybe code of occupancy. So those were what, I mean, so we did have an ordinance for that. General new construction, I don't think the city's ever.
No, we have nothing on new construction. We have something on electrical code. We have something on manufactured homes. But yeah, okay, valid point. So,
so
Code-
and
code
looking at the
enforcement.
international building code and actual electrical code, all that stuff comes into play and he's.
and he's an expert in it. Yeah. Okay, so then you're right, sir. He would be the smarter choice to do that work.
What's the,
So,
do they make a motion or?
well, one, the item F says to pass ordinance 276 and ordinance amending ordinance 275. That's not what the title of this ordinance 276 says, so we're not amending 275. Instead, I recommend we take no action on this ordinance 276 and instead evaluate the tables as part of our discussion of the master fee schedule. Unless you guys want a separate ordinance with these fees.
No. No, it's in the fee schedule. We don't need another.
So then I would say no action at the meeting, just follow on with talking to the code enforcement to figure that one out then.
Okay, which one is that? No action.
9F.
No, no action for the council, just follow up with the ordinance. It will probably take a little bit for him to get that done.
All right. Do we want to then go back to D? Well, I guess we can. Well. I think D is gonna have to be tabled until the next meeting.
D is table.
So, well,
I mean, because that's to enter into the contract, but
right, but we can approve for the contract to be entered into once we have the ordinance, or do you want to just bring it back with the ordinance?
say just bring it back with you.
Just bring it back with the ordinance?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
and when we spoke to this gentleman, he said he had ordinances.
Yeah.
So I mean, he may have some.
No, the ordinance he sent.
So you've looked at it?
It was in the folder over the weekend. It was replaced with the one that our city attorney did, which is much better done.
So we're gonna bring that one back as well.
Yeah, so we'll bring D back. And then let's go then move to E. Okay. All right, then E is discuss and take possible action on ordinance 2026-275, an ordinance amending the master fee schedule for assessing fees and providing for annual review.
So some of this will need to come out. The vending license no longer is gonna be required. Okay. Like the permit. Temporary vending license, those are no longer be required, although they still need to come to the city and they still need to follow city regulation as far as where they can operate.
Yeah.
That's pretty much, I think. So those two items need to be moved under vendors.
What page is that on? Okay, I found it.
It says ordinance.
Look at
2018.
the master fee.
Yeah. Yeah, we moved to 9E,
9E.
the master fee schedule.
Oh, we're in 276.
Well, the fees are only regarding food. So the the change to the fees would only be regarding food vendors, since we can no longer regulate those licenses. But if it's a vendor that is someone selling other types of goods like
Sure.
T-shirts,
So then,
they are still subject, they may still be subject to. But so in the ordinance that is later on in the agenda, it does break that up.
So livestock is not allowed in our town based on the ordinance as it's written right now. So we need to I move that we strike everything that says livestock, and it can be added at such time if our ordinance is updated to allow it. Because listing it in the fee schedule implies that it is something that we're allowed. So I move that we strike everything that says livestock.
Agree with that.
there's a few large properties on Priest Road that have livestock.
But our ordinance says no livestock. So if we put it in here, it's indicating that we're authorizing it.
I think how we got around with allowing that. Because we did allow it.
And, but I don't know how we did that, but the bottom line is, if someone was to look at our fee schedule and see that they can pay something for livestock, they're gonna think they're allowed livestock, and we have a big enough problem enforcing no livestock. And if we bring back the ordinance and talk about adding livestock, at that point in time, we can decide what fees we want to do and then have them added into the master fee schedule at that time. But as of now, our ordinance says no livestock. And that's why I moved to strike anything in here that says livestock.
Well, I do have a motion. Can I get a second?
Can you read the motion?
I
The
moved to
motion-
strike anything in this ordinance that has a
Livestock.
fee for livestock.
What if the animal control, though it's not permitted, they do need to impound livestock?
I don't see anything on the
How do they
master fee
charge?
schedule about any of this.
Yeah, I don't know where, well, because this isn't specific, livestock, I guess, isn't specifically on the, in the ordinance for animal control.
Except for impound. Well, look,
That's just,
that's the motion. Can I get a second so that?
No
we
one's
can-
gonna second it, so it's dead. So let's talk about the point that the attorney just brought up. And no one seconded, it. So, I mean, a good point, but I still have the same concern. How do we do this?
Cause I think we do need to keep the impoundment fee. I think we need to remove the boarding fee, cause we're not gonna board livestock. John, this is,
9E,
yeah, 9E,
I got nothing there,
You got
one
nothing?
page.
2026, 276 is the
That's
ordinance.
because he updated it. If he didn't pull it down after he updated it, you don't have the updated copy, because he keeps adding more stuff.
Well, yeah, I don't have, it. I just got 2 pages.
Yeah.
Page and a half.
So, all right, so let's go through it one at
There
a
it
time.
is, I'm sorry, my bad.
Impound, captured dog, impound. Captured dog and cat. Has the animal control reviewed these animal fees and suggested any changes, or does she agree?
She
Excuse me?
gave me the deal and we put it into.
Right, but did she recommend any changes, or she's good with it?
Yeah, no, she changed a lot of fees because she said that she needed to.
So is this what her changes are, or is
Yeah.
it?
Yes, no.
So these are her changes?
Yeah.
So we don't have the original copy of what this is supposed to be before. So how do we tell what is her recommended, which is a change from what we previously approved? How do we delineate that in this document?
I don't think you can.
I will probably go and go back on this.
Failure to. All right, so I would like to strike failure to reclaim livestock, $600. Because it's also referencing ordinance 2025-262. Which did not set that line.
I do think anything with livestock that references the ordinance is not included in that ordinance. It's just cats and dogs.
It's not.
But yeah, my question was then, what if she does?
Right, but again, she's not gonna pay a reclaim fee for someone to
No, yeah, no.
reclaim, so that one doesn't need to be in here. So rather than everything, I'm focusing specifically on the line that says Failure to reclaim your livestock. $600.
You wanna,
I think I want to strike that. Because we don't want them to reclaim their livestock. We want to go sell it to the butcher down the road.
Or rehome.
definition for livestock.
Yes, in the ordinance there is.
You said it was $600, right?
That's what it says in here.
All right, so I got a motion by the Mayor Pro Tem to strike failure to reclaim livestock $600 fee. Do I have a second?
So,
And a second by Alderman Crickmer. Is there any discussion? All those,
I'm struggling with, what happens if she impounds livestock that was not a citizen of Sandy Oaks, but came into Sandy Oaks?
Goes wherever she sends them out.
That's
She
a-
gives them to the county or something. I thought she sends them over to
Really?
the county. Yeah.
Okay, okay. That's all.
all right, I got a motion by the Mayor Pro Tem and a second by Alderman Crickmer. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Right? We will strike
So-
that.
So Donna, I'm looking at this and it says owner surrender not up to date and owner surrender up to date.
Yeah, she changed the fees because she said it wasn't fair for a person that had an up to date.
So the up to date is what is currently in there and the not up to date is what she's recommending. Perfect.
Right.
Okay, so you do have it in.
Yes.
We just have to decipher it. Okay, that makes sense then.
And everything to the right that says 2026, 276, that is what we're proposing to y'all to accept. That third column,
The third column,
yes, now to the far right.
2025, 262. What do you, oh, the seventh bit.
That 276, that they're requesting.
But that's not an ordinance.
No, it's not, it's approved tonight, that will.
276 is not garage sale permits.
No, but there's been changes that we're making to it, so it's not, but we requesting these changes.
276 is the ordinance number you gave for the building code. What does that have to do with garage sales?
No, so the garage sale ordinance, we have no fee for garage sale at all, so we ask you to adopt a fee, I believe that he says $10. So we adopt that
$8.
fee, it'll be in our new ordinance, so. Ordinance 2026-276, so we asking all these things, some of this new ordinance.
You're not understanding.
76.
Ordinance 276 is right here on our agenda.
Correct.
And it says building inspection. Does this building inspection ordinance that you presented to us tonight mention garage sales?
I think.
I'm looking at ordinance 2026-276,
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
and it's on the master fee schedule.
Yeah, so that's wrong. It needs to be,
Okay.
you should just be specifying that we need to go amend whatever our garage sale and just leave it at that so that we know we need to go amend it. And then once it's amended, it can be updated. But 276,
Yeah. It's not,
it's a future ordinance. You can say it's a future ordinance to indicate. So why are we wanting to charge $8 for that?
Based off what other cities our size charges. Right now it's free.
What's a garage sale?
You have to get a permit for a garage sale, and
What's a garage sale?
It's a yard
a
sale.
yard sale.
a yard sale.
Yeah,
Let's call it a
we
garage.
have no fee for
We have-
it.
We have no fee. I think 8's a little high. I mean,
Yeah.
5 maybe.
Basically, you want to pick up their sign, so if they come and get a permit, and sign that they will pick up their signs when they're done. They don't-
Right, but the city administrator is recommending that we start charging a fee for that
I mean,
because other cities do.
you're looking for more revenue.
Yeah, $5, I think it's a.
I think 8's a little high for our citizens. If we're going to decide to add one, I don't think we should go higher than 5. What are other thoughts? Do we just leave it as free or make it?
I mean, there is an administrative task, right? We
There
have to,
is.
they gotta come in, they take at least 10 minutes of somebody's time, right? So I don't think $8 is unimaginable. San Antonio's $16, non-refundable. So
Do we vote on that?
So, well, I'm trying to get discussion to find out. Well, they're recommending 8. I think 5, but I'd like to know everyone else's opinion.
I think this area 5 is. they don't want to make it where they can't have garage sales.
I mean, I don't think they're gonna struggle at $8. They're going out and they're selling anywhere they can. Sometimes at the flea markets, which is a $45 fee.
Some people.
Some people, yeah. No, I got you. I hear that. But I mean, I'm just trying to make the argument for why not, right? But if you don't like it, make a motion. What do you think, John? How much for your permit to sell?
$5, $8.
Do you know how many permits we issue per year? Or how many have we sold this year?
How many?
And
Really? Wow.
I mean, I would think there's probably more than that, more garage sales in the city than that, but
Oh, yeah.
it's not an area that's easily attainable, right, for like people to come in and so I imagine yard sales are not very,
Oh, I see a sign almost every weekend.
Yeah,
At least
but-
one person.
but how successful are they, right? That's my point. In the sense of, yeah, right, I don't want to charge a lot because it might not be successful.
Can they do this online?
No,
They can under our new
Our
website.
new website, they will be able to. So then that makes it a little easier. They don't have to come in during business hours
Mhm.
and present themselves. And they can use a plastic payment.
I mean, I have no preference whether we add the fee or not, but I just think $8 is too high.
All right, move to change the garage sale permit to $5. Move on.
Second.
All right, I got a motion by Alderman Tremblay and a second by Alderman Brickwer to change the garage sale yard sale permit.
We also need to strike 276 and we need to bring back the garage sale ordinance for amendment.
To $5. Yeah. And then, all right, so you have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Right, so then we do need to amend just as a point of action, Dr. Johnson, we do need to amend the garage sale permit ordinance.
I also move that everywhere it says 2026-276, that be struck and we update it with the appropriate ordinance number when we have that.
Okay, so I have a motion by our Mayor Pro Tem
Second that.
and a second by Alderman Crickmer to strike the entire ordinance of 2026-276. 26-276 and amend it with whatever appropriate ordinance is established. Do I have any discussion on that? No, then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, that motion carries.
Now we go all the way back to the top and there's a bunch of administrative fees that are supposed to be in ordinance 276. How do we capture those? Do we want to add these to it? I'm assuming this is a recommendation from the city administrator to add them.
Yes, ma'am.
I was not under the impression that we gave free email or free copies of things. So even emailing them, you want to charge 25 cents a page to email them something?
No, if they want a copy of an email.
I got a question.
It says emailed copy. Copies, emailed copy. That's not clear. It should be a photocopy. You want to charge for photocopies?
Yes.
I'm trying to understand.
Yes, no, we do. And even so, that is administrative fees, however, there are state fees also that's required that we charge for more so.
So copies $1.
For open records. Right?
Yeah,
No,
bring this in, copy it,
Yeah.
$1.
So copies, emailed, copied, not previously imaged, copied, emailed, copies, already imaged. I don't understand
yeah,
those.
what
I
is-
don't see how our citizens are gonna understand that. And then because we also have copies each page. Instead of using copy over and over again, are we talking like photocopies?
Yeah,
Printed copies, photocopies that are emailed to us, photocopies that we already have digital, previously imaged. Do you mean digital by that?
why don't we just call it copies? A
Make
dollar.
Flat rate.
And then, you know what, you want a copy of your email, of an email that you sent? That's $1. You want a copy of a photo? That's $1.
Photocopy, $1 for the first page,
Yeah.
25 cents for each page after that.
Yeah,
Is there some because I don't understand what all these things are. Does what the mayor just said make sense? $1 for a photocopy, regardless of how that is, whether someone walks in with a piece of paper and wants you to photocopy it, emailed you something and wants you to print it for them. Can we just say printed copies, $1 for the first page, 25 cents for each page after that? Does that still get after everything you're trying to do with that?
That was fine.
Selma, I'm sure you're the one making most of the
No,
copies.
yeah, no. I'd say $1 for everything. $1 for copies after that. I did it.
$1 per page.
yeah, it's expensive. Ink's expensive.
That's what they
I
charge.
mean, what,
But just saying photocopies.
Yeah.
$1 per page
That's
will capture everything you're trying to do right there.
$1 per page.
yeah, ink is expensive and we pay how much per month for our toner? I mean, for our
Okay,
Toshiba?
I would move that we strike all three of the items that say copies. And just replace it with photocopies, $1 per page.
I second.
All right, I have a motion by the Mayor Pro Tem and a second by Alderwoman Walker to strike all three items that say copy and insert a new line that says photocopies, $1 per page. Is there any discussion on this item?
And
Yes.
there's no ordinance related to that. We don't need an ordinance to charge for photocopies. That's just office services.
Yeah.
So the ordinance number should be left blank.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, all right, that motion carries.
So are we going to be doing boarding of livestock and exotic animals?
No,
No,
Then we should, I move to strike livestock exotic daily boarding fee, $40 per day, ordinance 262.
what if,
And strike the ordinance 262 that is in the row that says impound and livestock exotic impoundment fee, because it's not in the ordinance.
all right, so the motion by the Mayor Pro Tem is to strike live exotic daily boarding fee, $40.
what if you,
They did not have a pig here be kept for a few days.
yes, what if you confiscate or impound someone's
Well, that-
wild-
well, hold on,
Wait,
hold on,
is someone
hold on.
gonna second my motion so we can talk about it, or are we
Yeah.
just gonna let it die?
All right, I'll second the motion.
Thank you.
All right, and Alderman Tremblay seconded it. And then also strike 2025 262 from both lines, right? Is that what you said?
Well, I'm striking the entire first line, and then on the second line, the impound fee, because we want to keep it, we may impound one, just strike the ordinance, because the ordinance doesn't say anything about
Right.
livestock.
All right, second line, 2025 262 on the second line. Okay. But so, okay, so we have a motion, we have a second. To answer your question, we should not be boarding livestock or exotic.
But if we
We're not
get
equipped for
somebody's
it.
loose animal and keep.
That's,
it for-
but that's impoundment,
Right,
right? But that's not boarding, meaning
right.
I'm gonna bring you my zebra.
okay, but didn't you say you were gonna strike impoundment as well?
No, I'm striking the ordinance number next to impoundment.
Yep.
I want to keep the impound, because if we pick up the pig, we pick up the pig,
Right.
but
And
the
we charge
boarding
them
fee.
daily for having it, correct?
Well, we can talk about that later. We're not going to return it to them.
Right.
I just want to get rid of the boarding fee. We are not boarding livestock.
Right,
So, no, and we can talk about the impound fee and the daily aspect of that if you want to add a daily. That's the next line. But,
All right, so I do have a motion by our Mayor Pro Tem and a second by Alderman Tremblay to strike live exotic daily boarding fee $40, the entire line. And to strike on the second line, livestock exotic impoundment fee, but to strike only the 2025 262. We've had discussion, unless there's any more. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries.
so if you look at the line underneath that, it says daily impound boarding fee. Now, if we're gonna hold that animal for a couple days for them to come get it and get rid of it in some way, then we can modify that line by removing the non-livestock, non-exotic, if you think that's something we're gonna do, but I don't think we're equipped to handle livestock in our animal control office. But that's where that would be captured. Right now, it says the daily impound boarding fee means I picked up your animal and I have to hold it for 2 days for you to come get it. So it's an impounded boarding, not just a boarding fee. That's where your concern could be addressed if we remove the livestock.
It's done right.
No, that item, if you look at it, it still says non-livestock, non-exotic next to the impound boarding fee. Because it's right here. You have it. Right here. I removed this line. I motioned to move that line. This line, we just removed the ordinance number, but this line here says daily impound boarding fees, non-livestock. So if you think we're going to be boarding livestock, that would be the line where we would catch boarding livestock that has been impounded.
And so that's good, right? As is. We don't need to change anything. It's a done deal, correct?
It depends on what you're trying to do. I think it's fine as.
That's fine.
So are we expecting people to reclaim their livestock?
Yes, they'll have to. Unless we want to put it up for auction at the,
Okay, so this is another problem. I move to remove ordinance 2025-262 from any line item that says livestock. That ordinance does not give permission or fees or anything for livestock.
okay, I'll second that.
All right, so I have a motion by the Mayor Pro Tem and a second by Alderman Crickmer to remove 2025-262 from any line indicating livestock.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Does our ordinance say there's a fee if you have livestock? Because I don't see anything in here saying owning livestock.
No, there's just a penalty.
There's a fine?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, so it's not a fee. That's true. Fines and fees are different. All right, that was my only concern.
All right, so I do have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on removing 2025-262 from any line item that indicates livestock? There is no discussion. All those in favor say aye.
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 All right, motion carries.
Oh, I think this is new. We're adding a permit fee to keep your purebred dog intact. No, maybe not.
No, that's been,
It's a breeder thing.
Okay, so she wants to change owner surrender from 300 to 500. Oh, and she explained that one.
If they're current or if they're not current.
No. So she wanted to, if I remember correctly, she wanted it to cost more if you were giving up your animal. Because that's what those two mean. One line is what was in there before and the other line is what she wants us to change it to. I don't recall exactly why does anyone remember why she wanted us to increase the owner surrender?
you're talking about owner surrender up to date and owner surrender euthanasia, or?
No, it says owner surrender up to date, owner surrender not up to date,
Oh, I
That
see, yeah.
means
and owner
that-
surrender euthanasia. So there are three different ones.
not up to date would be more expensive, correct?
The not, it's more expensive, but I thought she wanted it
Because
to
they
be,
didn't pay their fees.
but that's the failure to reclaim. So I don't understand. That's gonna discourage folks from turning in their animal that they don't want anymore. Instead, they're just gonna let it go.
She had a reason for that, but I don't remember what she told me.
Yeah, that's what I know, she mentioned it at some point.
If they had their animal and it didn't pay the fees on it, then it's gonna be a back charge when they surrender their animal. It's gonna be more expensive to surrender it if it was up to date with their tags.
That's
and-
not what that's not what,
That's the way I see it.
but that's not what Delma is saying. And Delma's the one that,
Yeah, her and I sat down, but those.
Right, so she's saying up to date is the amount that's in the master fee schedule that is posted right now. And she wants to change it to 500.
That's not how I read it.
But
That's not how
agree
I
with
read it either.
John.
That's,
That's not how I read it at
that,
all.
that's not how I read it. That's why I asked. And that's what Delma just explained. We need one or the other.
She said something about like it was. Like,
Or is it where, because the way I read it is probably the same way that the other alderman just read it, is if you want to surrender your dog and you're up to date on the shots, it's $300. If you want to surrender your dog and it's not up to date on your shots, you have to pay $500.
that's what I.
because she said that then we would have to take it and get it
Right.
fixed.
So that is what that's meant
Yeah.
there. It's not old and new.
Right.
Silence your
Okay.
cell phones.
All right, so then I think that needs to be edited to say up to dates on shots.
Well, she needs fixing as well because
Yeah.
they're not fixed.
Shots,
Got temporary there.
shots fixed
Yeah.
and microchipping.
Correct.
Usually it's all.
Okay, then I would I move to change up to date to say vaccinated and fixed, or what's the
Neutered.
proper, neutered, there's the proper word. Vaccinated and
You're spayed.
neutered. Spayed.
Spay neuter
And microchips.
and microchips. That's in our ordinance also, all three of them.
Okay, so strike up to date and insert vaccinated, neutered, stash, spayed, and microchipped.
All right.
That's there.
I have a motion by the Mayor Pro Tem to strike up to date and insert vaccinated, spay or neutered, microchipped. Do I have a second?
Second.
And that is by Alderman Quickmer. Is there any discussion on this item? If not, all those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye.
That motion carries.
Okay, so we still don't know which are current and which are not, but
Like he said, people aren't gonna want to pay that kind of money to bring their animal. They'll just let it
but she
go.
has the ability to waive it too. She doesn't have to charge it.
Good.
So going back up a little bit from there, I'm sorry. We have impound fee, redemption of captured dog or cat, third offense or greater. I absolutely agree with the no return, but I think we should be posing a fine because animal control took the time to go capture that.
I thought it was a citation. I thought that was considered an automatic citation.
Is this failure to reclaim? No.
We can give them a citation, but then they can come to court and the judge can throw it out.
Yeah, I think that's how we had it.
But I don't know, do they definitely have to pay a
What is
fee if we
it,
impose a
Mayor?
fee? Because we have a fee for the second capture. Because we charge them $100 the first time, $100 the second time, and then $150 the second time if it's more than 15 days after the first time and the animal hasn't been fixed. All right, nobody cares about that one. Moving on. Okay, commercial motor vehicle permit. 5% of the gross vehicle weight rated as listed on the registration.
Yep.
It says that came out of ordinance 2019.
I don't think it's 2019.
That was one we've done in the last
Recently.
year since I've been on the council. So
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I know that ordinance is wrong.
Yeah.
So the commercial vehicle, it's not 2019-150. 2019-150 was amended in the last year.
What page is that?
It's not labeled.
On the first page of the
Yeah.
map,
The very bottom of the first page.
about 4, 5 up.
Five from the bottom.
They're alphabetical, so it's commercial motor vehicles. I'm just saying that the ordinance is wrong. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but 2019-150 has been updated. The 5% gross vehicle weight was added while I was on council. I don't need to make a motion for that because that's just for them to correct wrong information, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so we're increasing the manufactured home permit by $5. Also, that's not an ordinance 26-276. That's got nothing to do with manufactured homes. The manufactured home ordinance is different. It's probably the 23-230. No, that one's been updated too.
But you struck 2026-276 anyway.
Right. So I was hoping it was going to be the one underneath it though. So under manufactured home, top of the second page.
Yep, we did include, well, it is increased $5.
276?
So that one's already been struck. That's not going to be on the ordinance. However, the manufactured home inspection has been updated since 23. It's been done while I was on the council. So
Yeah.
the manufactured home inspection was added to the ordinance. So that one's wrong as well and needs to be corrected.
But do you think the inspection is? I don't think that's the right wording. Because it's not just the inspection, right? It's 5 years or greater. So I think that's what it needs to clarify.
So it's for the,
I know it's for the inspection, right?
but it's only when someone applies for a variance.
5 years or greater, right?
Right, so we can just say,
5 model years or newer.
no, why don't we just say code, HUD, and just put, for variance in parentheses. Because that's the only time that needs to be done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then we don't need to specify anything more than that. That way, if we change the ordinance and what the variance requires,
Could we put variance in parentheses on the first line and then next to the 105.00, put a parentheses 425 to match? You know what I mean?
no, because the home permit, you got to pay for no matter what.
Right.
The home inspection, you only pay for, if I'm recalling the ordinance correctly, when the individual is
variance.
requesting a variance.
So that's what I'm saying.
So we only need to put it on the second item.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I'm just trying to consolidate lines.
And that's not the correct ordinance, correct?
Yeah.
That is not the correct ordinance. So that's just a typo that needs to be updated. So, so I would move to add to the HUD code manufactured home inspection, the word variance and parenthetically after inspection.
The ordinance is
You-
2025-256.
But you still want it to say inspection? Or did
Yes,
you?
because it's a home inspection, but only to go with the variance. Yeah, so I just want to specify that it's only with variance. Or for variance, yeah, so parenthetically state for variance.
All right, so on a second line item, HUD code manufactured home inspection in parentheses or parenthetically state variance.
What was that ordinance?
2025-256.
And the ordinance should be 2025-256.
And
Thank you.
replace the ordinance with 2025-256. Do you have a motion by the mayor pro tem? Do I have a second?
Second.
And a second by Alderwoman Walker. There's no discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
So
But do we agree that we should increase our manufactured home permit to $105 to $5 more? I guess I just want to make
it's a
sure. we call
5% increase.
Yeah.
I mean,
No problem. No, it's-
surprised we didn't, no,
No,
are we good with what we're saying? I'm just surprised it's not more.
$150.
Planning.
If I could make a motion, I would.
because it's a lot of work. The city
It is.
administrator has to do a lot of investigating. He's got to make sure they've got the permits for the septic. He's got to,
Yeah, it takes a couple hours every day, right? All said and done, right? You got to manage the documentation. You just got to be storage, right? You got to know where it's at. You got to see where the permit's at or see where they are in
so
the
he's spending a
application.
couple hours to do that.
Yeah.
Plus they're driving down our roads and tearing up our roads. I mean, I don't see why we're not charging like 200 for that.
Yeah.
Because it's taking time for an employee that we're
Make a
paying.
motion, I'll second it.
I move to increase the HUD code manufactured home permit to $200.
Second.
All right, I got a motion by the Mayor Pro Tem, seconded by Alderwoman Walker to increase the HUD code manufactured home permit to $200. If there is no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, that motion carries.
So these plan reviews, this is coming out of ordinance 2023-219.
No, that's got to be coming out of the new stuff from Bureau Veritas.
Okay, so we need to remove all those ordinances then.
Yep.
10 lots to review
Doesn't say,
subdivision
ordinance.
plans, 2 reviews, 10 lots. 11 or more plan reviews, non-residential. 2 reviews. So these prices listed here under the planning that say 276 next to it, are these the ones that came from the Veritas ordinance?
Isn't 277 the Veritas prices?
No, 276.
No, that's not. That's what I picked up from other cities. That's something that I would like to incorporate. But there are some from Bureau Veritas that's funded down.
Okay, so I'm just looking, so these are just ones you pulled from other cities and added into here.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, just 2023-219, the ordinance is regarding plat reviews. It does have fees in it. So that's maybe why it's referenced with regards to the subdivision plans. So just a note that we need to be.
Do they have any of these replat
Amended
fees
to.
in 219?
Um,
Because I thought
yeah, but-
like the replat,
it's showing plats, like review fee for plat without roads or floodplains, $100 per lot. Review for all subdivisions, $500. And below is applies, and then it's all,
okay, so these
So
are in
this
our
is-
ordinance.
yeah, so it is 2019 to 2023-219 for these.
That's why you have 219 listed, so that ordinance needs to be fit. You need to bring that one back to update as well. Because we're trying to pull all the cost out of the ordinance anyway, so. It's good to bring it back and pull it out. And we can always change the amounts. Why does it cost more to correct a plat than to replat? I mean,
There might be some legal issues.
but not from the city's perspective. The city's involvement should be about the same. And then to cancel a plot, what do each of those mean?
I can't.
Cancel a plot.
9 o'clock.
I think it's just, if something is platted, then the plat is canceled, so now it's a full property, not subdivided.
Okay. But what does it mean to amend or correct? Why would that be twice as much as the other two?
I think that's an engineering for the surveyor. I don't know if it costs more administratively or if it's.
Why do you have that price is twice as much?
That's in the ordinance, actually, 2019, so those fees.
So that's actually from so it's already in there.
These fees are already in that ordinance.
Yeah, so. But you have the wrong ordinance listed there, so it's already in there, so we've done it that way for some reason.
And I think we got those from the engineer. What that would cost.
Accident reports, $6 each. So are we emailing them or are we printing?
What if it's 10 pages?
Usually come up.
It's supposed to be going through Chris Crash. We don't provide any
No.
crash reports anymore.
You don't do accidents reports at all? I strike that we remove accident reports.
So the accident report goes through Chris Crash, they're online, so the victim or the complainant has any. And we have an incident report that we showed up, but any of the crash reports go through Chris Crash.
I move the strike accident reports. If we don't provide it. No need to have it in here.
Need a second?
Yeah.
Second.
I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem and a second by Alderman Crickford to strike accident reports from the master fee schedule. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed, that motion carries.
So Chief, all these things that say one TAC, are these police department type things or are these,
Into the administrator added.
what is one TAC?
So that is the Texas Code 552, and then that is like.
So the Texas Administrative Code, you've abbreviated TAC.
Yeah, 703, like to go to
It's not the right way to abbreviate.
They,
Maybe it's not administrative code. That's what I was referencing, or that's what I was thinking it meant because the Texas Administrative Code outlines a lot of
That's what it is.
statutory fees.
It is.
And so he just said that's what it means,
Yeah.
but from a legal perspective, that's not how you abbreviate
No.
that. That's not the proper abbreviation.
those are already set, not Texas law, correct?
The cost and stuff is not,
Oh,
is it?
is it?
Are these costs set in Texas code? But that's not the proper, just, it's not the proper way. to abbreviate
Those-
the code.
I think some are by for the AG, for the open records request, the AG,
Right,
or the administrative code.
yeah, so public information, it says request for public information, it just says per the code, we're not listing anything, because if we list something, then we have to update this every time the code changes. And then our city secretary has to monitor and see when the code changes to update this, and she shouldn't have to do that. If any of these are in the code, it should just say per the Texas Administrative Code. And speaking of that, request for public information says per the Texas Administrative Code, but then in the line next to it, it says Texas Government Code. Oh, and the TAC. Okay, we need to spell that properly. That's the incorrect abbreviation. Or indicate that that's what that stands for. Credit card cost per page. standard. Which of these TAC codes are in the code and which ones did you just get from somewhere else?
So everything that says TAC is Texas Code.
So that actual amount is from there?
Yes, now.
So why didn't you just say per the Texas Administrative Code like you did in the previous line? Is there a specific reason?
No, I just kind of wanted to have that in there in the event someone goes to that exact.
I mean, our city secretary should keep that in the office so she knows what it is when someone comes to the window. But if you don't say, I mean,
I mean, we shouldn't get into semantics of abbreviations and acronyms. Let's just keep it moving along and
But-
just make an adjustment. Just say Texas Administrative Code.
so, but, well, I'm talking about the actual codes. We're not setting these. These are coming straight from the code. Do we want them in our fee schedule?
Keeps the public from having to go looking for that code to see what the fee is. So if you
That's
put
a good
the cost
point.
There, that they see.
Well. Okay, we'll just have to keep track of when it gets updated. Well, I'm sure you know when the code gets updated. Okay, that makes sense then. Okay, 50, say rental property registration. Hey, that's what ordinance is doing. That's good. Permit fee.
What about that? You have an inspection?
All rental properties in the city are supposed to be registered
know.
and they're not. And then they're
Should the
supposed to be
inspection
inspected.
Be a little more expensive than the registration, or,
Well, the inspection has to be done every year.
oh, it does every year? Is that the right ordinance?
Is that what the ordinance says? Doesn't it say it has to be inspected every year?
I hadn't seen the rental ordinance.
That's 2021, 178.
Yeah, I can pull it up. So I did see the registration fee. We had $50. However, for the inspection, there was nothing at all. So I was recommending $50 for that inspection.
But does that inspection have to be done annually?
I can find out that. Let me double check.
And so if the registration fee is listed in there, we need to bring that back, because that means we've had $50 as a registration fee for 5 years now.
The inspection should be more than the registration. Registration's is admin. Inspections, some footwork and some
All right,
expertise.
make a
Correct.
motion. What do you think it should be?
I'll say $150. I make a motion that
I
we,
move to.
I move that we, now I lost my place. Increase the residential rental property registration inspection fee from $50 to $150. Ordinance 2021-178.
I'll second.
All right, I got a motion from Alderman Kirkmer and a second by our Mayor Pro Tem to increase the, where did it go? Residential rental property registration inspection from $50 to $150. Is there any discussion on this item? If
How
not,
are we enforcing this?
code enforcement officer. No, it should be building inspector.
This,
So no fee?
Well,
I just don't
it's
think
not that it should be.
Well, I think it needs to be in the fee schedule until such time as we terminate that ordinance, so we can always revisit that conversation, but as long as we have the ordinance in existence, we need a fee.
enforce it. Yeah, okay.
When you see a rental sign, you go up and ask them why they haven't registered,
Good luck.
why we have code enforcement.
All right, but I do have a motion. I do have a second.
No, I wouldn't think.
Never mind.
Every time they change tenants, maybe.
All right, but I do have a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, all those in,
But I'd say we be careful with these increasing too much because for branch house, they have like a set price for a lot of these inspections and we already adding 18%. For example, we go into $200 now for permits and then we get 18% of it. So we charging the residents a lot. I have never been to a city charging 200 for a permit.
permit for what?
For just to build, manufacture, anything like that.
The permit is not doesn't involve Veritas.
No, I mean.
The permit involves you.
We'll be getting $200, yes. But then there's other things that we're adding on, like for building and things like that. I mean, these prices get outrageous because it's mandated that we add additional 18%. We're gonna, this is asking a lot from our resident. Again, because we're top.
So in this particular case, we're talking about a rental property. Someone that is renting their home and making money off of it to begin with, instead of living in it themselves. So to ensure that the individual that is living in it is properly cared for and that home is of proper quality. Because if you look at some of these rental properties in this town, they look like they should be bulldozed. So there's no one inspecting and making sure these tenants that live in San Antonio, live out of the state, are taking care of our residents. I mean, they live here. We have a responsibility to that resident. We're not charging the resident. We're charging the person that chose to buy that home and live somewhere else. So I don't think it's unreasonable to charge them $150 for us to go and inspect and make sure that individual that lives out of the city, out of the state is taking care of that resident that is choosing to stay here and contribute to our city.
Question, does the Veritas have a fee for that? We're not gonna have two fees. We'll charge, if they have a fee, we'll charge what they charge.
So
I don't know if they have a fee for inspection of rental property.
that's true. Any of these would have to be, that conflict with the other one needs to be changed.
So looking at Schedule 3, it does not look, those are very top fees. Doesn't say anything about the rental home fees. Big enough.
Motion. For 150.
150 for the inspection of the rental property.
Did we get a second?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did get a second. All right, let's take a vote on it. To increase the rental inspection fee to $150. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed. All right, the motion carries.
There's a lot of items about swimming pools, but I don't think we have a single swimming pool registered in this town, do we?
You do. Yep, two.
Yeah, David's,
There's one. You got, Alderman,
yeah, McNeil.
McNeil and mine. Two
Got two permits.
Two law-abiding citizens.
Yeah.
No law-abiding.
What are you doing here?
And then Alderman Tremblay, what were you saying about the vending licenses?
Oh,
Because we made it to V.
it's just the food one that's, no longer valid after July 1st.
Well, this one just says temporary vending license. It doesn't
Yeah.
say food, so
Right.
we can
So-
still keep that one.
It's valid.
So that one's still valid.
Do the people vending at the park on the 4th of July need to?
I don't know. We'd have to read the ordinance. We'll go back and
There's
see.
something in the
If they're
ordinance
selling
about
food, they're gonna have to
it.
go through the state.
So,
But I think,
I thought you did
so we're not talking about that ordinance.
I think we wrote into the ordinance that if,
Yeah, but
originally
That's-
anyways, that if it was for a special event for the city.
But we no longer control food vendors.
okay, but we don't have
Yeah.
this ordinance up for discussion yet,
Okay.
so
I
let's
see what you're saying.
keep it
So
to.
is a penalty a fee or is it a fine?
The penalties are fine.
So we need to remove the penalty. That shouldn't be in a fee schedule.
Penalties are fine.
Yeah. So you have penalty. You have penalty here. Penalty there. Penalties need to be removed. That's the other ordinance that's still missing the attachment.
So that should be in the ordinance.
You talking about swimming pools?
No,
No, I'm going down. I looked at vendors and then went beyond that. We got a penalty. Then we got more penalties, not even looking at penalties. They shouldn't be here.
So let's strike all penalties.
Strike, I moved to strike all penalties from the master fee schedule.
Second.
A motion by the Mayor Pro Tem and a second by Alderman Crickmer to strike all penalties from the master fee schedule. There's no discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Let's keep
Okay,
moving.
here's some more vendor stuff after this. Alderman Tremblay, just from your perspective, all of that's still good.
under,
I'm not sure how this is organized. This is comprehensive master plan enforcement. So I'm not sure why we have vendor on here twice. Oh, okay, because this one's from the 265. I'm not sure where these fees are coming from. Why do we have a second vendor license fee listed here? Why is it listed twice?
Um.
That
Question.
is. Oversight on my end.
I'm sorry?
It's oversight on my end.
also list, yes, about bonding.
Question.
Well,
There's also-
the one down below that I was talking about,
This,
vendors and.
All
Wait,
these
wait,
place.
wait.
Is it private versus public place?
They're all public.
Hmm.
They're all on public. Should be on public, but it's a commercial.
Yeah, what are all these peddler vendor and solicitation regulations here at the bottom versus up here under vendors? Why is it down there?
So these are personnel who's coming to, for example, setting up a new restaurant within the city. Needing a vendor license.
We don't have any ordinance for that. Why is it listed? You're still calling it the same thing. So why is it listed separately? A vendor is a vendor is a vendor. Unless we got a different ordinance. Which you have 272. What is 272? Versus 105.
272 was adopted about in April, and that was regarding the temporary peddlers, vendors, and solicitors.
Did
That
that
is also
supersede
part of that.
105?
I was just gonna look whether that one did. I don't know what 105 is right now.
What is 105? 2018 105.
Question. we've removed all the penalties, but all these lines under penalties, are they gone too?
Everything that is listed as a penalty should be removed, yes.
Okay,
Because we can't have
that's a
penalties.
lot of stuff.
We shouldn't have penalties in here. They still exist, but they don't belong in a fee schedule. They
Correct.
belong in our fine
Okay.
schedule, which is a
Okay.
separate ordinance.
Yeah, 2018 is an old vendor and solicitor.
2018-105. So 2018-105.
Well, it's regarding motor vehicles parking.
You want to find here is.
Where they park?
On the website is listing,
Yes.
is listing
About
adding
parking.
parking within, adding a fee within 15 feet of the fire.
Yeah, so that was later incorporated. So 2018-105 has been repealed and replaced with
2018-105 doesn't exist. So we need to,
272.
272 is the correct one. So we need to figure out what is the correct vendor fees that we should have based on what is in that ordinance.
We need to put superseded stamps on everything that's been,
That's why we need a
Right.
codification, but we can't do that until our ordinances are fixed.
that's
But-
what I'm saying.
But, so we need to get all the vendor stuff together, and what is temporary vendor license for special events is $60. Okay, so we,
The two that are listed up top adequately cover vendors.
but that's a repealed ordinances. The one at the bottom says if you're only doing up to 3 days, so you're gonna be a vendor at our 4th of July event, you only have to pay $25. But if you're gonna do something for a week, you need to pay $60.
Oh, pay anything.
That's what's at the bottom. And that is the current ordinance, 272-105 has been repealed.
Let's leave that one in.
We won't get any
Delete the one on top.
participation if we do that. Can't we waive that fee?
Why did you put this down here instead of
I want
alphabetically?
to say the ordinance. In the ordinance, I would suggest that waiving a fee for
Why
city,
is,
if that's what
everything
you want
should
to
be
do.
alphabetical, make it easier to
I think it
find.
may already say that.
It's
but
it's in the
When
ordinance.
that
I would
comes up.
recommend we move those first.
It's in the ordinance.
Right, okay.
Charitable.
Any licensing and.
On an insurance policy required.
Then just fill out the very bottom and you.
Okay, bond and insurance policy required prior to license issuance minimum. So this implies that we want them to pay us $50,000,
Brick and mortar. Not a.
but they're not paying us $50,000.
No,
No,
it's
they-
asking
that's
for,
bond.
yeah, it's asking for a bond,
But-
but I see what you're
But
saying.
that's in the ordinance. The
Yeah.
ordinance says you need a bond. It's not a fee or a fine. It's not a fee they have to pay to us, so it shouldn't be listed on our master fee schedule,
Right.
correct?
Doesn't need to be there.
All right, so I move to strike bond or insurance policy of $50,000, and I move to strike vendor in the 2 lines underneath it at the top of that page.
Second.
What was the second one, Mayor Potem?
The vendors line at the top of that page with the 2 items underneath it, that whole section of vendors, because that's from ordinance 2018 TAC 105, which has been repealed.
All right, so vending license and temporary vending license, those two? Those
Yes,
are the
sir.
two? Okay. All right, so I have a motion by the Mayor Pro Tem to strike bond 50K line and the vendors lines, including vendors, vending license and temporary vending license special events. Do I have a second?
I'll say,
Yeah.
And I did? Did you? Okay, and move second by Alderwoman Walker. If there's no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, that carries.
All right, moving down to Schedule 3. First of all, I move to delete ordinance 2026-277 from all of those items and later populate it with whatever ordinance we do.
All right, strike. 2026-277 and replace with appropriate ordinance. All right, do I have a motion by the Mayor Pro Tem? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
And a second by Alderwoman Walker. If there's no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Right?
And I don't know whether you can answer this, Dr. Johnson, in looking at these service fees, how come increasing the price of the cost of your construction project by $1 increases the original price by so much? Because if your project is $10,000, it's $50. But if it's $10,001, it's now $70.69.
That's how they do cutoffs.
That's just their
For accounting.
fees.
That's how they do cutoffs for accounting.
They increased the next one, but they didn't do it. Everything after that, the math works out. So if you look,
No, it's in the other one.
no. What I'm saying, if you take for line item 2, $10,000 to 25,000, if you take $70.69 and add to that $5.46 times 15, that equals a 152.59, which is on the next line. So why doesn't that math work out going from the first line to the second line, but it works every other line after that?
But that's their fee schedule, so
Yeah,
it's
that's.
not for us to
their fee schedule.
decide.
That's just their fee schedule.
Is that Veritas?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Very-
easy.
Veritas, sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I think for Schedule 3, I don't think there's anything we can change
Mm-mm.
other than adding the 18%. Does this include 18%?
No, the 18% is a paragraph at the top. It states all of these will have an additional
Oh, okay.
18%.
Gotcha.
So are we agreeable with the 18%? I guess that's our decision.
Yeah.
Right? That's not dictated by them. That's the only thing we can change in this. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Is that a bit high? Could you say that was medium, mid-range?
Yeah, most start at 10 and it goes all the way up to 30, so I think 18% of these.
Yeah, but our town seems to be on the lower end too. I don't know, 15% makes the math easier too. We just go down a little bit.
Yeah.
Pardon? I don't know. I haven't felt, does 18% seem reasonable?
Should be the average tip.
What is BVNA? Again, acronym should be spelled out.
Okay, for Veritas, okay.
Is that what that's?
Bureau Veritas North America.
Yeah, can we just spell it out, please?
Okay.
Just acronyms, first time you use them, spell them out.
And ICC International.
Yeah, just,
Okay.
yeah, there's lots of them. Just every
Okay.
acronym, spell it out, put it, the acronym in parentheses. Just make the actual cost 15%. Yeah, see, even there, if you look at their fees, they're only charging an extra 15% when they're doing it that way. I don't know, thoughts is 18% seem high, reasonable.
I'd leave it.
I'm sorry,
I'd leave it.
think is reasonable. Okay, I don't know, I'm not. All right. I also would move that we replace city administrator throughout the ordinance with city secretary, because I don't think our city administrator should be answerable to our city secretary for doing this work. Texas law requires the city secretary to engross and enroll all laws and ordinances of the city, which means he can't post the changes without getting her permission, her approval of the final version. So, and even San Antonio and other towns have the city secretary doing this. This should stay with the secretary and not the city administrator. So I move to replace administrator with secretary throughout the ordinance.
Second?
All right, I got a motion by the Mayor Pro Tem, followed by a second by Alderman Brickler to replace the city administrator with the city secretary throughout the ordinance. If there's any discussion, if not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, that carries.
What page you went on now?
I went back to the beginning. I made it all the way through. I looked at everything, waiting for anybody else to make any other motions on that way. I reread the ordinance that was edited after I downloaded it.
All right, now we just need a motion to approve the ordinance.
We do need all the ordinances updated throughout though, but that's more of an administrative task to make sure we have the current ordinances in there.
Yeah.
We have two sets.
So here's a question for the city attorney though. The title of this and the content of it states that it will repeal any conflicting ordinances.
Mhm.
So some of the fees that we are now putting in this ordinance will conflict with the fees that are listed in the other ordinances where they are named. So will that repeal those ordinances because the dollar amount
It-
conflicts?
It won't repeal, it'll only repeal the part of the ordinance that is inconsistent with the fees. So it's just the fees,
Just want to make sure because we don't need to
It's not the
repeal all
whole
that.
word.
Okay,
So the title does not maybe accurately reflect that, but section 3 does.
I knew it was in there somewhere, but I figured it's faster to ask you than to go.
So if we're done with it, I move to the ordinance 2026-276 ordinance amending map schedule for assessing fees and providing for annual review, authorizing the city administrator, authorizing the city secretary.
You need to say as amended.
maintain as amended. To make any adjustments necessary in the interim, repealing any conflicting ordinances, providing for severability and providing an.
Second.
All right, I got a motion by Alderman Tremblay, followed by a second by Alderman Crickmer to adopt ordinance number 2026-276. An ordinance amending the master fee schedule as amended. All those in favor? Wait. Is there any other discussion?
So, all right, one, passing an ordinance requires a second reading unless we waive it.
It's true.
And two, because we're updating these fees, does our city secretary need to get this ordinance published in the Wilson County News?
This one doesn't because that only applies to fines, penalties, and forfeitures, which the fees are not considered that. But some of the ones on Bureau Veritas will not take effect until they're published to the website.
So they're
So-
published to the website, but we don't need to publish in
Not in
Wilson
the
County
newspaper.
News. Just needs to be published on the website. And then
No,
we
need a second reading.
need a second reading or waive the second reading.
Not penalty.
Every ordinance of the city requires a second reading unless we waive it.
We need a second.
We've just been using the fees as a reason, whether or not it has fees as a reason to explain why we're waiving the second reading. So I just wanted to remind you of that. This will require a second reading unless your motion includes waiving.
Motion includes waiving the second reading.
So he wants to amend his motion. so-
Okay, so the motion now states, which is still followed, still seconded by Alderman Crickmer.
Sure.
All right, to adopt ordinance number 2026-276, an ordinance amending the master fee schedule as amended and to waive the second reading. There's no discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That motion, no, all those opposed, that motion carries.
Just a comment on the second reading. So the ordinance on the second reading does require the city to post it on the website as amended within 24 hours of the meeting. I don't know if, and then keep it there for 2 weeks before the meetings. I don't know if that is a realistic timeline.
Yeah.
To update the fees. So that may just be Jermaine and Delma, if that is something we're gonna sit for them.
But no, we just waived the second reading, so we don't need to get
Oh, you
it.
did with the second reading?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
we
sorry.
waived the
Sorry, I
second
thought you
reading.
said-
Yeah.
Sorry, I was talking about, someone said this needed a
Is it
second
a
reading.
red line version when we do the amendments?
No, the red line version is created for the city council, so we have a before and after version.
Yeah. So that's what I'm asking for the public knowledge.
No, we post just the new one.
Yeah.
They want to see the old one that's still posted on the website, then go back and see what 2025 ordinance says.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
All right, so that is E. Okay, so then let's move on to G, discuss or take a possible action on request for proposals. Process for municipal record storage services to include establishment of posting and date and submission deadline on expiration of the existing contract with Texas Towing on August 31st, 2026.
Well, I noticed we're doing 60 days on this one. Is that normal? I mean,
We've done it before, 60
Yeah.
days.
We
We-
usually like.
I just know a lot of times we don't have that much time, and I was just assuming the ones that I've seen, that's probably why.
Yeah, no.
Okay, and under the billing section, should we include something about the frequency of the billing or in this, or should that just remain as part of the contract? Because I know the contract, wait a minute.
Can't open that.
Which RFP are we looking at? Let me make sure I'm asking the right question. We're looking at
We're looking at towing.
the towing one. Never mind. That question goes with the other one.
Yeah.
That was my only question on that one. Oh, no.
I mean, they do have monthly reporting.
Yeah, so that's fine. No, I've got my comments.
Oh.
From the two RFPs mixed together. My other two comments are on the other RFP.
Can we add in this RFP for, I mean, maybe we could throw it in there that that there's some sort of fee that we receive, like we are receiving from Texas
It's in
Towing?
there.
Is it in there?
And this RFP for. No, that's the other one that has the fee. I read them both.
Yeah, it was my understanding from the last meeting to everything as is, with the exception of the dates. This is the same RFP that went out the beginning, well, the end of last year. And we just pretty much changed the dates.
Yeah, so this is going out like the same
Do
time.
we send this to prospective vendors
We can send it.
Public.
Well, we publish
directly
it,
or
but
publish?
you can.
Well, oh no, legally we can do that. Can we do that? Like if I know K3 is interested, we can send it.
Yeah.
directly to
Email.
them.
Send it to what, 3 different,
Yeah, because otherwise we might get no response.
Yeah.
right, that's what I'm thinking.
But as long as,
We do
Send it
need
to the
something
current
that
and all the
says
ones that
city
submitted proposals and the,
return for every
well,
vehicle
no,
they
we don't want to
tow.
send it to all the ones that submitted proposals in the past.
That's
No,
that's what I was asking. I mean,
Fee collection, under the fee
Probably.
collection.
probably, yeah.
Well, all it says is remit to city of San Diego an admin fee of $15 per vehicle impounded. It should be a little more. So
there was a lot more than that in the other proposals. They had to give us a lot more.
I just don't think that's realistic, though. Right, I mean,
$15 is not.
no, $15 fine, but
Is
she's
he-
saying a lot.
last time.
What would be,
No, I think 15 is fine.
really?
Yeah, I think there's very little.
I mean, they came back with proposals to outline how they're gonna pay us and everything. So just because we only say the $15, that doesn't mean that's all we're gonna get out of it.
Well, if we only say $15, that's all they're gonna give us.
Oh,
I think so, right? I mean, why would they give us more? But
There's storage and impound.
I just feel like-
that we make money on as well.
no, because we don't have the lot.
No, but, isn't there
I don't-
like a franchise shared revenue thing that we're
It would,
getting other than the $15?
Chief, if you're gonna have a vehicle towed, how much your time does it take?
at least an hour for them to respond.
no, they're supposed to have a 30-minute response time. That should be in the RFP. And this RFP was updated yesterday. What did you change?
Well, I just basically to make sure everything was covered in the line. There was some things that had like an extra space between it. So I just make sure everything was good.
Please don't do that after you post it,
Okay,
because it changes the date.
what about when they auction the vehicle off that's been impounded? Don't we get something out of that?
Potentially. I mean, if it was,
If we're taking it for drugs, it's ours.
yeah,
It's ours.
like if we've confiscated it.
We shouldn't be mentioning what kind of fees we want in here. We want them to tell us what services they're gonna give us.
Go ahead, chief.
If we file a chapter 59 and we win it and still court in the vehicle, anything that we auction off, we give a percentage to the auctioneer and we remain with it. Whatever the percentage is for the auctioneer. But we must file a chapter 59. And most of those are gonna be for felony cases like narcotics, weapons, trafficking, things of that nature.
We have not done any of those.
Not since I've been.
How come the other proposals we had information about paying us money?
That's what I thought we had.
And are we giving this RFP the 60 days or is it the next one?
I believe we give to July the.
July 10th, so we're giving them 30 days. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I was reading my wrong comment.
They have 30 days to respond.
30 days to submit their proposal.
Right.
Does require a 30-day, operate 24 hours.
I don't think any of them will be able to respond in 30 minutes.
I think that administrative fee should be like $50, 15, not very much. Hardly worth it. If you spend, if we gotta have an officer standing by out there 30 minutes, an hour, I mean, their time is worth.
I'm confused why that's setting there with the Roman numeral 3. It doesn't seem to even belong there.
Mayor Pro Tem, just to answer your question regarding, like fees that they would pay us.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the old, RFP.
Mhm.
And there was a schedule, there's a fee schedule worksheet that they would fill out of what it's gonna cost for a vehicle weight. But I don't see anything that was, they were to pay us a certain amount.
Right, but when they gave us when we were discussing the proposals, they were talking about how we were gonna get money. They were gonna pay us based on various different things.
Yeah, that was just K3's providing of that information. And the other ones never showed any of that.
Okay, so it's just the way that one.
Yeah,
company
they
did
were
business.
willing
Three,
to.
the one in George,
Yeah, George West, yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, just told them, give us a check for a bunch.
So
Right.
It's $25.
Is that based on towing?
That was based off of the contract that we originally signed with them 5-6 years ago.
Here.
They
So
would
what-
give us money.
Right,
Roman numeral
which
3.
is why there's
To the
that
left.
fee of $15 per vehicle towed.
Down the old one's different.
Yeah.
From December 2020. Or
Yeah, I don't, this seems different. This doesn't seem like the one that the city attorney did last time.
a lot of it looks the same. I think it's just formatted. Some of it looks formatted differently. So I think that 3 got formatted.
It just,
There's a copy of it.
I don't know.
I'm looking at it right here. I mean, high level, I mean, it has A and B, vehicle storage. C and D, reporting and fee collection, A, security, bidding instructions. That's relabeled. Yeah, I can see that. Bidding instructions, 3, due date. Metal inquiries and interpretations. Description. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same, at least at a high level.
Okay. I thought there was more about the impound. Statements regarding women. Okay. So if you look at item 4, where's this at? This is section B, Roman numeral 5. Section B, number 4D says statement regarding remitting collected administrative fees to the city of Sandy Oaks for each vehicle impounded. So is this describing what's supposed to be in their proposal? And we're asking them to provide that in their description of services? Does it make sense to have them do that and at the same time also tell them that the administrative fee is only $15?
They're gonna make a lot of money off of us, and that just seems like we should get share in the. I mean, if they own their impound lot, then they wind up owning the vehicle and selling it. They're getting nothing for it. We're giving them the business.
I mean, they got the fuel, they got the insurance, they got the trucks. I'm they're invested too, right? All they're helping us.
They're the one doing all the costs to
Yeah.
get that car off the street.
Yeah, until we get a storage facility. We're not gonna-
Where does it say,
Yes, and that's looking like what happened. So I wasn't here when they created, however, it looks like, that very last page, there we left it negotiable. So impound fee, if we decided on $25, that's what we went with. That's what it looks like. Now. So it's more-
Yeah, but we need-
So negotiable, you know, which vendor we choose.
but somewhere in here it says $15.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the gas, already talked.
So we should move that. And you need to look at the formatting throughout. There's several places where it's indented and it shouldn't be.
That's what I hate about, I can't get mine to do it.
Roman numeral 8B, for example, is another place. It just doesn't look professional. And the font gets very small at the end. Before you go into the attachment, the font shrinks. Where did it say? I know it said $15 somewhere.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's in the attachment D fee schedule worksheet. Number 15 or number 16, administrative fee remitted to city of Sandy Oaks per vehicle impounded at the request of the city, $15.
So
Page 16.
shouldn't we leave that blank and let them put that in there? Did we have $15 in there before? Because we've asked them to describe the administrative fee under that one paragraph 4D or sentence 4D.
Let me see in the old one.
I thought there was somewhere else where we had $15 in there too.
Yeah, 16, we left it blank on the last RFP.
Yeah. Did you see $15 listed somewhere else in this?
Yes, let me see here. Page 15, yes,
There it is
on
right
page
here.
5,
In Roman numeral 3.
yeah. Remit to the city of Sandy Oaks an administrative fee of 15.
That should be.
And that's
Okay.
on page 16.
Yeah.
All right, I would move to strike the administrative fee of $15 throughout and just leave it blank so that it's part of their response, their proposal, and not specify $15. So the multiple places that it's listed $15, to eliminate that. And just say, like, for example, an administrative fee per vehicle.
Yeah.
And then remove the $15 from the table, and anywhere else where that $15 might be, remove it.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Got a motion by Mayor Pro Tem and a second by Alderman Tremblay to strike $15 for administrative fee throughout the entire document. There's no questions. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries.
We're gonna keep going. I recommend we take a break.
Well, can we decide whether we're, any other changes?
Can we
to
pass this ordinance first? Then we can.
It's not an ordinance, we need to
Well, yeah,
approve.
yeah, the RFP. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
So we need to include the establishment of posting date, submission deadline. I think we posted
It's there.
the 15th. Huh? It's on there.
And that
right now?
one's July 9th.
It says deadline Friday, July 10th at 5 PM, but somewhere else in the document, it says the 9th. Which day do we want?
On the introduction, it's July 9th.
Yeah, but on the title page, it says July 10th. Which
Yeah.
day do we want?
Deadline.
Um, It's already gonna be posted.
what day of the week is it?
We're only gonna post it for 30 days.
Yeah, because it's
We're gonna
the,
run it. That's what I
Well,
told.
hold on, we'll get to that in a minute. So, we have two different dates. Which one do we want to go with?
July 9th is.
July 9th is a
Thursday.
Thursday. I
Yeah.
would recommend we go with Friday, give them to the end of the week and
Yeah.
just say July 10th. So
Yeah.
then, that needs to be the date listed in the paragraph.
Yeah.
And, yeah, this formatting is
But,
off.
but we're also less than a month now from that day.
Yeah, but,
I know, but July 10th is the closest we're gonna get, because July 11th is a Saturday. And then that gives us time to review the RFPs, get it on the agenda, vote on it, get the contract done and get them started before the end of August. Because that's when our current record contract is up.
Go to the following Friday.
Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna stop servicing our area. Will they stop servicing our area? Right, they're gonna still come. We just probably won't.
They're still in as lockdown.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, they're still gonna come. So I don't think the August deadline is a drop dead, right? We're still gonna get record services out here. So we can adjust the date.
July 9th is a council meeting,
July 17th.
July 17th. Is that a motion?
And it's 30 days enough. That's a question, but
That's a motion.
okay.
It's over 30 days,
Well,
July 17th.
is it?
I
Well, now
second.
it is, yeah. Where did I go? Okay. July 17th. All right, I got a motion by Alderman Tremblay and a second by Alderman Crickmer to extend the deadline to July 17th
And change the RFP to read.
and update the RP to reflect. Is there any discussion?
That needs to be updated in both places. The date.
If not, all those in favor say aye.
I,
All right, that motion carries. All right, look, it's 9:50.
so we still haven't passed. Can we do just one more question and then we can
Okay,
move on to pass it? City Secretary, Ms. Doyle was asking whether we're gonna run this in Wilson County News for 2 weeks. Do we need to run it for the entire 30 days or can we just run it for 2 weeks? Do we run it for 2 weeks then? Do we need to make a motion on that? Because that's what she.
yeah.
You're putting it on the website as well.
Yes, yes.
All right, I move to approve the request for proposal for towing services as amended with the formatting corrections as well.
And then be mailed directly to
Well,
the.
that's just automatic when you
Yeah.
post the RFP and publish it. I just.
Okay.
And do I have a second?
Moving out with the RFP.
Second.
And a second by Alderwoman Walker. So I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem and a second by Alderman Walker to approve the posting of the RFP as amended. There's no discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, that motion carries. Look, it's 9:50. Let's go ahead and take a 5-minute recess.
10 minutes.
No, seriously.
Oh, yeah, my alarm's gonna go off in 10.
Retired.
Turn up your.
It needs-
Okay, time is now 9:58. We are back in session. So let's move on to then agenda item H, discuss and or take possible action on requests for proposals for municipal solid waste collection and disposal services to include the establishment of a posting date and submission deadline upon the expiration of existing contract with Waste Connections on December 31st, 2026. I do want to update. So I have not received the gross receipts from Waste Connections. But I did send out an example of what we are receiving in a franchise fee of 4.5% from City Public Services. And I think when I spoke with Waste Connections, 5% is kind of what they were thinking is about average for most cities. However, if you think we should charge less, we should charge less. If we can charge more, you charge more. Just, that's kind of the examples that I've received so far. But I'm still trying to figure out gross receipts so I can determine how much revenue to expect.
Okay, this is the one I actually had questions on.
I do not recommend that the city bill its residents for services. If that's the one you're talking about. We should not be responsible to pay for their services and then collect on their behalf. We don't have the staff.
No,
The only thing we do is just add it to the property taxes.
oh, that did say that was an option.
I mean, we're way ahead of the ball game on this. we're not. August.
We could.
I mean, we're just kind of premature as far as getting this out for if the current one doesn't expire till the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, if we did get it out, that's the step, that's gonna be the stipulation that it doesn't go into effect till January 1st.
Last time it was between Waste Connections and Tiger. Are there other?
Yeah, I think there's much,
So you're making a motion to postpone this?
Yeah, I think we should just postpone this till August meeting. We're just so far ahead of the game.
August. Well,
Let's bring it back in the first,
yeah,
let's bring it back the end of August.
okay. Second
and
meeting,
then
okay.
August, then we can, yeah, because then if we put it out for 60 days, that would still be October, and then we can look at it in November and get somebody on board by December.
Is that enough time for them to transition and transition out? But yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I do have a motion by Alderman Tremblay to postpone this item for until the second meeting in August.
I'll second.
And I have a second by the Mayor Pro Tem. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed? All right, that motion carries. We will postpone. Moving on, agenda item I, discuss and take possible action on authorizing advertising of a part-time information technology IT contractor position to provide on-site technology support services to the city of Sandy Oaks on an hourly rate basis, compensated based on actual hours of service rendered during normal business hours of 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, at a monthly rate not to exceed $1,500.
Losing our current guy.
We're not losing our current guy, but I think we're suffering service. He's too busy. He's not able to answer. He's not responsive sometimes.
So this is to replace him?
This would be to replace him.
I was confused because there's 3 resumes in there.
Yeah, but we can't talk about it. We have to
I know.
advertise the job.
That's
So I
why
don't
I
know
was-
why those are in there. I didn't even look at them, but they're not authorized.
Okay, good.
Okay, so the job description states that the person is supposed to support city staff with day-to-day technology needs. Does that include the city council and the mayor? Just to make sure they have full expectations that they're also supporting us, because we're not considered staff.
Sure.
I don't. Maybe support city staff and officials, city officials,
Or the city of Sandy Oaks.
city of Sandy Oaks. No, because they're not supporting the residents. Yeah, there's IT service over there, so it's just to support the cities. It just should be the city officials and city staff, just so whoever we hire or whoever applies knows it's also us. Also, it mentions about support for the security cameras and monitoring system. Isn't that ADT, and don't we pay ADT to support them, or is that not correct?
No, we have an internal system.
An internal system, okay.
Correct.
And why does the individual need a criminal justice information services security certificate?
Due to the fact that we're doing a lot of things, with police departments, he's just qualified, that special obligations. In work on some of the, hour that they be working on.
The network, is it?
Oh, so he needs that in order to go back into your space.
Yeah.
All right, makes sense. And it also states other certifications such as, do you mean such as or equivalent to the certifications that are listed? Because such as is kind of vague. And it shouldn't be a requirement if it's just going to say such as. What were you trying to say with that statement?
So based off of other resumes I've seen, that it's not a requirement, however it is, we are looking for something equivalent to those certifications.
So we should either say highly desirable or equivalent to then. I mean, one or the other, depending on what we're looking for. Miss IT down there. Alderwoman Walker, what do you think would be the best based on the certificates that are listed? Equivalent to or highly desirable qualification.
Highly desirable. That's really a question for Jerry. Somebody on his level, not mine.
Write your replacement's job description.
I should get, Fletcher LLC to help me rewrite that document.
I mean, we just need one or the other. But such as I don't think is as clear. It's either highly desirable or is it gonna be a deciding factor? So it has to be something equivalent to those, or is it just something we really want someone to have, but we might pick me that they don't have it?
I mean, I think a lot of good IT folks don't have a lot of certifications. They've got hands-on experience.
Right, and that's why I think the highly desirable is more in line with what we're looking for. I don't think it should be a deciding factor, but
Right.
I would say y'all can make that call.
Looking at the discussion, I mean, at the agenda item, I mean, is 8 to 5 realistic? I know that's the time we mostly need them. But I just don't want to set the expectation that it's only 8 to 5. Does it state anywhere in here that,
Occasional after hours would be useful. It's not in there now.
you know,
Do we need to make motions to modify this thing, or can we just?
You can make one modification motion and then just authorize the. General consensus of what to modify. Just the advertisement.
Okay, and then are we going to require all applications to come through TML?
Oh, like that for easier tracking there.
Did the 3 that you already have go through TML? Because if they didn't, then we can't take it.
Okay, no, they did not.
So you have a choice, either make them apply properly after we advertise it, or remove it from there. So,
I don't like the idea that we received applications for a job that's not posted.
yeah,
Well,
that's
yeah,
why.
even people they just heard about me, they just. heard
How did they hear
me.
about it, Jermaine?
How did they hear about the position?
I would
Because,
stop talking, Jermaine.
yeah. If you're, so you're telling people that we're going to be advertising this position is what you're saying.
Yes.
Just stop talking, Jermaine. Let's go.
So, yeah, I think that's good just as it is. We'll leave it with must complete the application through
TML?
through TML, just for easy tracking, easier. That way anybody can go in, well, not anybody, like the mayor or Dr. Johnson, you can go in and look at it. Then, all right.
That's your motion.
So I would move to authorize the city administrator to advertise this position with the edits mentioned on TML and on the city website for, or until filled.
Until filled. That it? I'll second.
Okay, I got a motion by our Mayor Pro Tem, followed by a second by Alderman Crickmer to advertise the application for a part-time information technology contractor with the edits mentioned on TML and on our city website until filled.
Do I need to summarize those edits again? Or,
I think they're on the audio record.
I think you want to do something about the hours.
the hours,
Some hours
yes,
other than 8 to 5 may be required.
to add in there, out some,
Let's just
And
list them.
it's-
Let's just list them, just so we can go through them one by one.
all right. So that's going to be to update the description to state support city officials and city staff with day-to-day technology needs. To change other certificates such as to just say the highly desirable to have other certifications such as, so that it's specified as a highly desirable. And then to update the hours listed instead of just stating 8 to 5, state after duty hours. Is after duty the proper term for the civilian world?
For hours.
After hours may be required. After hour support may be
Normal.
required. Normal business hours, outside of normal business hours may be required on occasion.
As edited.
Yep. All right, so we have a motion by our Mayor Pro Tem and a second by Alderman Crickmer to advertise with the edits mentioned. With the edits listed by our Mayor Pro Tem. And to advertise on TML and the website until filled. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, that motion carries. All right, item J, discuss and or take possible action authorizing the procurement of a drag harrow, chain rake, field line chocker, home plate box, anchored baseball base set for purposes of repairing and restoring designated areas along the Tom Rapino Park baseball field in amount not to exceed $694.
You know, we have the home plate and the bags for first, second, and third, correct? And the pitcher's rubber.
These are all, the ones that I provided were ones that can be mounted affixed permanently.
So no one can steal them,
Right. So if we do have some, that's fine.
Okay. I got you.
but they can be.
They can walk off.
Yeah, that's what
And
I
then-
was gonna ask. How are we gonna secure this? Okay, then.
we'll-
So then we have these other two things, the field line marker and the drag harrow. So where are they going to be stored? Who's going to be authorized to use them? And what is the intent of getting this? Are we going to be trying to get
Yeah, the intent is,
baseball teams to start coming and practicing in our field? I mean, why are we spending this money to
Yeah.
get this stuff for the field?
yeah, so the intent is, yes, we can obviously charge to, not obviously, sorry. We can charge to rent the field out if a baseball team needs to borrow it, but also we can also just clean it up to where on the weekends, family can come out and play softball. Right? I've come out here a few times and I've seen people out there using it. With the rake, if we could do that sometimes once a week or whatever it may be, then it's ready for the weekend and, it gets torn up over the weekend, then you do it again on Monday, right?
So the expectation would be for Public Works just to go out and
Yeah.
chalk the field and drag it first and then chalk it like once a week.
Correct.
So that if folks in the neighborhood wanted to go out and play, that
They'd
have a clean
have a clean field, correct. And yeah, the expectation is to keep the equipment, or at least the drag rake inside Public Works, the chalker, I think so as well. I don't think there's room in the community center building for that
no, there's
stuff.
not room in the community center building. So Public Works would be able to secure it within their fenced area.
I think they have room.
Yeah.
They have buildings.
Yeah, they have that
Yeah.
one shed too. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, they got plenty of room back.
Yeah.
So it would become Public Works responsibility, our expectation for them to prep the baseball field once a week.
Yeah, and if, somebody needed it on a specific day, you can call them up and say, hey, can Public Works do it this day? Maybe they can make time out of their day to go do it. That's the idea. I just want to see it be used instead of just
Oh, absolutely. And then we can determine like whether we want to start charging fees for her to go out and do this if it becomes a regular
Yeah.
occurrence, but to just do it once a week, just to have it pretty.
Yeah, it'll invite people.
We hope there are people playing in the fields when in the, on the courts and all over the place when it's not too hot out there.
I bought a sticker bird roller for my personal use. I haven't even assembled it yet. It just arrived, but I'll let you know how that works.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there.
We need now.
What's the grand total on this?
694.
We need a motion.
Correct.
I move to authorize the mayor.
And to make the administrator do it. I don't have a card.
Oh, or the city administrator. To purchase the items listed not to exceed $694.
Second.
All right, I get a motion by Alderwoman Walker and a second by Alderman Crickmer to authorize the city administrator to purchase $694 worth of baseball equipment, not to exceed $694 for the purpose of Tom Rapino Park baseball field. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed. All right. Moving on, discuss or take possible action on a contract for codification services for the organization and publication of city ordinances in amount not to exceed $10,000. Dr. Johnson, you have the floor.
Sir, so requesting that we set aside $10,000 for the next fiscal year, coming in October, in order to get codification integrated within our website.
So this is just to create a budget line item for next year,
Yes, sir.
right? Not for this year.
Our website should be done hopefully by the end of July.
Yeah, but we need to get the ordinances done, but we don't need a motion or anything. We just need you to put it in the budget and then bring it to us and we approve it or we don't.
Correct.
I mean, we've already been talking about it. $10,000 seems to be the standard price.
Yep.
So, I mean, I just say you put it in the budget.
Okay. I don't have a problem with that.
Doesn't need any further discussion. And then once we get our ordinances cleaned up, I think we've even got all the companies. We just need to pick which one we want to go with.
All right. So at this time, no action, just to add it to the
Just
budget.
put it in the budget, please, sir.
Okay, then let's move on to L, discuss or take possible action on ordinance 2026-277. An ordinance amending ordinance 2026-272 to provide for business regulations of peddlers, solicitors, and vendors. Provide for repealing of conflicting ordinances, providing for severability and providing for an effective date. Dr. Johnson, you have the floor.
Yeah, the council had requested that this come back before the effective July 1st, 2026 date. That's what I'm going to have.
Who was the original sponsor of this?
This was this is the first reading for this one.
Oh.
It was amended last in April, I believe Alderman Tremblay and I don't know.
It was in April.
Yeah, so it's just to incorporate new state law that has the state license and oversee and inspect all food vendors. So like food trucks and
Yeah.
food booths. So this is just to come into compliance with that law. So the red line shows that all those changes, but it doesn't affect the city's ability to regulate where they can be located, times and places. So that is still all in the ordinance. It's just the permits, licensing, fees, inspections.
On
And you
this-
also pulled out the reference to the cost and because that's in the master fee schedule. I noticed that as well. So
Yeah.
thank you.
I still, this one, on the final version, I do see a couple of red lines still in there. So let's just, if somebody wants to make a motion to finalize those.
I don't.
I don't think that needs a motion, right?
No,
Yeah.
so if this is the first reading, actually it's a safety, I think it's a health and safety, so it.
Well,
Really may not.
we're also not adding any fees or anything. If I'm reading this correctly, all that you have done is incorporated the new laws that go into effect on the 1st
Yeah.
of July, and we're just going to be implementing them a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
By,
Well, I think I have that the effective date is July 1st.
okay,
Um,
because we can pass it now and still have an effective date of 1
Yeah.
July, yeah?
let me just make sure about that, because. Yeah, whenever the publication requirement is satisfied, or July 1st, whichever is later, is the effective date. So you
Okay.
can even publish it to take it July 1st. Or wait to publish it.
Okay, well then I would move to adopt. Let's go to the top. I can read this. To adopt ordinance 2026-2. This should be 276.
Yes, sir. So we leave the ordinance number out, Mayor Pro Tem, due to the fact there's been changes, ordinances that we will not adopt this evening.
All right. I move to adopt cleaned up version of ordinance 2026 to be determined, an ordinance of the city of Sandy Oaks, Texas, amending ordinance number 2026-272 to provide for business regulations of peddlers, solicitors, and vendors providing for repeal of conflicting ordinances, providing for severability and providing an effective date. And that effective date would be 1 July 2026. And I also move to waive the second reading.
Second.
Okay, I got a motion by our Mayor Pro Tem and seconded by Alderman Tremblay to adopt an ordinance 2026 to be determined. An ordinance of the city of Sandy Oaks, Texas, amending ordinance number 2026-272 to provide for business regulation of peddlers, solicitors, and vendors, providing for repeal of conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing an effective date with the July 1st effective date, and to waive the second reading. Is there any discussion on this item? There is not. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed. All right, motion carries. Let's move along. Agenda item M, discuss and take possible action on ordinance number 2026-278. Amending ordinance 2026-273 fiscal year budget for municipal purposes to add and appropriate funds for line items in the following departments: animal control, municipal court, public works, parks, and parks. Let me see here. All right, so if you've had a chance to review it, there's been a few line items. So if we start at the top, right, all I'm doing on this one is I'm amending the budget amount in revenue for the road bond INS tax. I overshot that value, so I'm just reducing that by $7,200. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, there's also the corresponding debit line, which should be addressed to adjust that to reduce that by $7,200 as well to make that $57,923. And if we go back to the top, so let's see here. I've kind of forecasted. Oh yeah, so school crossing guard fund. I've amended that to reduce that by $3,500. I just based off of actuals that have come through. I don't feel like that's going to be a true amount at this point. So I've reduced that to around $2,500 or to $2,500.
And that amount is based on the number of registered vehicles, I think it says.
Yeah, it is. And so I'm not too sure
So we
why.
have no control over what it's
Right.
gonna be.
Exactly. So what I did was I took the current amount, I divided it by 8 and then multiplied that by 12 to kind of come up with a forecast for the remaining of the year,
That makes sense.
the next
Thank
4
you.
months. Okay. And let's see here. So items in green, let's see here, administrative training and education. I think we had some spend there with the city administrator taking on some classes and some programs that he's involved in. So I've increased that by $500. I've reduced then down the city council and mayor expense by $500, making that $4,500. Do you want me to go through all these, or
I've already looked at all of them. I'm fine
if you have
don't.
any questions, you can ask me, but
I do want to know what the other numbers are in the 2 columns to the right.
oh, that's just my math. That's just me doing my math.
Can we not include that when we post it?
Yeah,
Because I think that will be confusing.
yeah,
So that's just your math and have nothing to do
has nothing to
with
do
what you're
with it.
doing.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you go down the next to the last page, the first column, you've highlighted the public works uniform in blue. Why is that number highlighted in blue?
Let's see.
Is that
here.
just an accident that highlight is there?
No, because I still need to make a movement there. And I'll tell you why. Give me a
Because it's
second.
the same color as the $1,500
Yes.
that you've moved. So
Right. So because I haven't, how do I explain this? I still need to move $817. So if you look at the line above that, uniforms for the this is for the
For the
animal control.
animal control, you've
Right.
got them highlighted in blue as well.
Right.
As well as salaries up ahead.
Correct.
You've got,
But let me answer your question. So there's $817.84 there. That cannot be there right now because I don't have a line item for it. So that's how I triggered in my mind to go back to uniforms for Public Works and still take out $817.84. That's still sitting there. All right, so it's just me adding a reminder for myself because I can't move that 817 into animal control uniforms because that line item doesn't exist.
How do we make it exist then?
That's what we're doing right here.
So this is what you're doing. So you'll go back and do it. And those colors in the dollar amount are all reminders to you to do actions.
Yes,
And those colors will be removed before you post it on the city's website.
I can, yeah, I can remove the colors.
Because this has to be posted with order. No, not the colors from. Well, I guess it makes sense that that goes with that. It just threw me off because you had that one.
That
color
one
down
line,
there.
yeah, and I can put a cliff note on it or something like that, but it was just me to remind myself that 817 is not actually there right now.
No, that makes sense. No, but the colors make it clear that just one was on.
Yeah.
Um,
I agree.
why are the municipal court expenses still over 100%?
Where do we go? Did I miss that one?
Going back and forth between my questions and. Yeah, the total, it says total municipal court expenses, 115.96%. It's right underneath where you've got the pink. And
Oh, the ER tax?
the total for total municipal court expenses. I'm not understanding why that says 115%. Nothing above it is over budget. So why is that one over budget? Does that? And it could just be my not understanding how the math happens in the spreadsheet,
Yeah, hold on, I'm still trying
but
to.
the total line, this total right here,
Page 5, I think.
Page 5?
at the light pink.
Oh,
Yeah, there's no
like-
page, yeah, page
like-
numbers would be helpful. Then I could tell you where to go.
Oh, I see it, I see it.
See, when I'm looking at everything above it,
Yeah,
it
it
doesn't.
doesn't, well,
it-
there's $50,000 right there, 30, 25. Yeah, but it shouldn't be, okay, it could be, well, so if did I add any lines here?
I think you're adding in that $100,000 that's next to municipal court expenses when you're adding the first column,
Could be, yeah.
but you're not adding it in the second column, and that's why it comes up. I don't think it is 115%, but it
No.
is showing that. And if we're gonna be posting this, I
Yeah,
think we need to get that fixed. Because I don't think the 115 is the correct amount for right there.
yeah, but see, the problem with that is that it's not municipal court expense, right? Like that was our debits and credits to move money from Chase to Frost. So it doesn't, it's showing up in this budget because it has to show up in this budget, but it's not true, right? It's not extra expense, it's not extra revenue. So I can add, well, no, I can't add budget to it, right? Because it's not a true transaction. I think it's just one that's gonna have to stick, and I can put a note out there, right? In this file that it does this because that was our,
Yeah, because just
$100,000.
when you're looking at it, the
Right.
math just doesn't
right.
make sense.
Right. No, I get you. I 100% get
Yeah.
what you're saying. But I can't add budget to it because it's not a budget item, right? It wasn't,
Yep, that's fine. Just
Yeah.
an explanation next to it then would make sense, because when you look at it, it's like, what, 115%? But you look above it, nothing is that
Yeah.
high.
exactly.
And then how come we've spent nothing from the municipal judge or the municipal judge health plan? Those are still at zero.
Yeah, I agree. And I've
Have
asked
we
this
not
question.
paid our judge anything? Have we not?
He
paid
does,
for his health
I
plan?
will say though this, I did ask him about his billing and he has been slow on billing. Just because he likes to bill it quarterly or whatever it may be.
We're several quarters into the
We're 2
fiscal year.
quarters, but yeah,
So, okay, I mean, because we can't predict the budget if he's not giving us the billing.
right.
And what about his health plan? Don't we have to pay for his health plan and then he's gonna reimburse us for it? Did we not do that?
I don't know why that's not showing it. You already have 2 payments.
Yeah. But if it was done in May,
You've already made payments to the judge? Yeah, I think you have.
He made, yeah, we paid him and we also, I don't know why that's not.
then they're just not in the right line items, right? That's
Well-
as simple as it is.
Yeah, because we had made it, I do remember seeing his name, because I asked, who is this?
Yeah.
And you said, oh, that's our judge.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I don't know why it's not.
So,
It's not in there because it's not in the right line item, right? It's somewhere else where it should be. Yeah.
I moved it, it should have moved, so
so
we gotta go back.
may I make a suggestion that we figure that out and bring this back later? And I'll send you
Please.
the list of all my questions as well, because some of them are just about some of the dollar amounts in here.
Yep.
Because I don't think we should be posting it saying we haven't paid our judge when in fact we have.
Yeah,
And,
most definitely.
just that explanation. Yeah, just a few different things. I will send both you and Zelma my list of questions,
Okay.
so that you both see. And, I don't know if anyone else has questions, but I would recommend, postponing this to the next meeting so we have time to adjust whatever the line item
Well,
issues are.
I will say this, if we postpone, these numbers will change, right? Because now we're reconciling May's expenses, so shouldn't change dramatically, but it will no longer be correct, right? Like,
But the changes, the adjustments you've made, those aren't gonna change, just the dollars in the table.
so I mean, we can postpone. I would have to redo this then. Because if we wait another 2 weeks, this is no longer accurate, right? Because she's posting transactions to the budgets.
That's true. I mean, but we've also got like the police department equipment and supplies are at 108%
Yep.
on this, so,
Because we're waiting for our grant to come through.
oh, okay, so that's why that one is.
Yep.
And then public works uniform, you already talked about that.
Yep.
Police department IT hardware and software is at 97%.
And that's pretty much done.
So what we got left is gonna be enough to cover the rest of the year?
Yeah, because we've already paid up we've paid up most of our subscriptions. It's the subscriptions for IT hardware that we've contractually agreed to. So
Why are our veterinarian services so high?
that's a good question. We've got 2 good animal controls officers, so
Okay.
I think having 2 people like that out there, I think we were not able to really forecast a
The
good amount.
veterinarian services?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's something we need to track how much, because we want the people to accept a
Yeah.
tax increase
Yeah.
and we need to justify it with figures of how much we're spending on animal control.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and that's what-
to prioritize their,
And that's what the budget does, right? Like, I think if we have a good example of that, at the town hall meeting, I can bring this, right? I can bring live stats, and this is what we're tracking at currently, right? Just so that way they can get a true description of, or a true explanation of what we're spending, their dollars on.
What the cost is per animal when you got taken to the vet?
that's what I wanna know too.
Taken to the vet, it costs the city some money.
Yeah.
It's expensive to bring one in.
yeah, how much are we spending on the vet that comes to town and how much are we spending on the vet over in Floresville?
Yeah.
And how much are we spending on getting the animals fixed,
Right.
those kind of expenses, so, but, yeah, we just don't track it to that level.
Yeah.
And then what is ER tax, because that's at 190%.
Yeah, and I think that's another one that, I just didn't have a good forecast of how much that we would truly spend, but 2, I don't feel like we're missing something there. I mean, I don't think things are miscategorized. I think we've got a lot of high valued individuals here that make some money, and we didn't have them previously. So to be able to forecast for them was difficult.
So what is ER tax?
Employer tax.
Employment.
Oh, employment tax. So that's why our payroll processing is so far above the planned amount as well.
Right, exactly.
And then even our telecommunications is at 94%.
Yeah, we've purchased new phones. We've made some upgrades to the telecom systems here. I think we got new phones I think Dr. Johnson, you have a new line, right?
Correct, yes.
So that includes the hardware purchases. So what we have left in the budget should be enough to pay our phone bill for the rest of the year.
Correct.
Okay. Even our Outlook and Microsoft expenses.
And that's a
they've
new
done-
line, right? So I want to add that line just because we had it bundled into another place and it just wasn't a true reflection. But that's one thing that we never separated before. We just threw it in. But when we got all these new email addresses, everybody needs Microsoft Office packages. It just costs money, right? And hopefully we kind of stay flat as far as the number of people, if we can fill the positions that we have open. then it should be easier to forecast. But if we continue to grow, I mean,
We're gonna need
we're gonna,
another laptop, like for
Right.
animal control, because everybody that's out writing citations needs a tablet.
exactly.
Because the new website's gonna go mobile, so there's expenses that go up.
Yep.
Those are the things that I noticed that still are not
Yeah, and
fixed in there.
and I don't know if, I mean, we can continue to move money, right? Just to say, well, we're under budget now, right? But I'd want to do this again in August and September, right? As we get closer to true finalizing our numbers.
When we write citations with the new system, are we gonna be able to print them off a paper copy of their?
Not on the
Okay.
agenda. You can ask the chief after the meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's ask the chief.
So, um,
Okay, so you're gonna bring that back?
It's up to y'all. I mean,
he's saying he has to rework it if we bring it back. But
I'm fine with that.
I just,
You explained what needed to be explained.
I would like an answer on where the judge's payments and health plan is being documented, because that could clear up some of the issues if it's not characterized correctly, but we can address that at a future. Maybe, but when we get our next budget, have it.
well, we have our budget meeting. I'm not budget meeting, but we have our finance report next meeting. So
Yeah, just to straighten out, where's that at? If we can get that fixed and account for that.
yep. Either action or push it to next week or to the next meeting.
Next meeting.
All right. Then let's move it on to the next meeting, which would be the next regularly scheduled meeting. All right, no action right now. All right, and then moving on to N, discuss and or take possible action on to authorize the mayor or interim city administrator to execute the FY 2026 audit engagement letter with Armstrong, Vaughn and Associates. Audit services for FY 26 in the amount of $12,200, a $500 increase over FY 2025. Fee for 11,700 with document request to commence in October 2026 and field work anticipated in November or December 2026. So this is just the annual contract that we sign for the independent audit that needs to be done annually.
That's number 19 in the folder, by the way. Looking for 9N.
And the audit is, just as a reminder, the audit is required for us to consider increasing our taxes, so we have to have an independent audit annually.
Move to authorize the mayor or interim city administrator to execute the FY 2026 audit engagement letter with Armstrong, Vaughn and Associates.
Second.
All right, do you have a motion by Alderman Tremblay and a second by Alderwoman Walker to authorize the mayor or the city administrator to enter into a contract with Armstrong, Vaughn and Associates? Is there any discussion on this? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, that motion carries. Just need one more, guys.
Adjourn.
It's now 10:39. We are adjourned. Thank you all.
That he can-
Good night, John Boy.
Chief has them being.
Yeah.
Chief, they have the capability.
Well,